Good morning. Good morning. Say good morning to the Siams over there. What is going on? Take it all in, guys. New haircut. Well, it's not quite that new, but it's more than a week old. I'm going to let the room build up a little bit. That's the whole ideal of playing our intros instead of sitting here staring, waiting for people to come in. Fallen Sinner is in the house. I see Tio Chong is in here in second wind power outage for 12 hours. Man, ugh, that's just bad. Absolutely bad business there. We had one a short period when this storm happened, and that's what today's live is about. I might be able to get George to join me on this one today, not sure. Um, but I'm going to cover the shocking information of where a building had fell here in the Angeles City area. Um, and they're still looking for people. And we had like hail and rain. So I have some of that footage, some of our own, the room. And then I have some other information I'm going to share here in a little bit about me, but first, happy Memorial Day. It is the 25th here, Monday, in the Philippines. And like I said, I will get my medical out of the way because every day it just progressively gets worse. Hi, Gio. Hi. Hi. How are you? You saying good morning? Huh? You making your appearance? Thank you. There's my good luck black cat. Um, So yeah, it's what I expected on the bite. I knew I didn't have rabies. I didn't think it would get infected just based on the bite itself. I kept it pretty clean. I was lucky. What the problem is now is just bad circulation, just due to PAD, the peripheral artery disease, or from having coronary artery disease and congestive heart failure and just being sick, weak heart, little to no circulation going through my body. And then I'm mostly down in the hospital bed. It's just not going to heal. It's the same as diabetic issues. And it's actually turned into a hole. So now it's like it's like a fight to not lose my leg and to getting the stents done. So officially yesterday, a few of our viewers know this. We've reached out to Raffy Tulfo. He will be our only hope at this point. Um, he has the documents. We're to see a doctor that actually performs the procedure on the third, and minimally this would be like 20,000, and that is for a regular person. And it's not, because with my other conditions, until I enter the hospital, and now with this leg, the way that it is, it's just going to be an impossible to get these stents done anytime soon. So it's going to require a lengthy hospital stay just to get the stents, and as soon as they can, they will. So we're going to the man himself that's going to do it, and so we can get a base ideal. He's just going to be able to say, okay, well, when she's well enough to lay flat for the procedure, when the inflammation's down, when all of this changes, her cardiac output, and she gets better, then we can lay her flat and do the stents. It could be one, could be four. And so the price will just go up from there. So 20,000, 30, 40, 50. So it is an unknown amount, and it is something that we're not going, it would take, in my opinion, another 2 years to save this kind of money. If, that's just like people supporting the channel. So we've already had some of our viewers reach out. I'm asking that you guys reach out to Senator Raffy Tulfo. I'm already, thinking about these different things that, if you guys have watched him over the years, not only has he helped sick expats, ones that have been scammed by their girlfriends, ones that have spent up their money, whether they've been homeless on the street drinking, whether it's trying to get them home, and he's taken care of some medical. He's helped these male expats. So I'm hoping the senator will see it as an opportunity. The last person that was foreigner on there, they usually get 1 million hits. Based on 1 million hits with his advertisement, he definitely is making enough in one video to pay for my surgery. So I'm well aware of the possibilities, but I did not want to ask. Absolutely did not want to ask. Why? It's not because it's not true. It's because I'm more than prided. I was just going to see where the chips fall. But when you're staring at your leg that's an open wound to open nerves, all freaking day my leg is hurting now. And so I knew it was getting there. And most of you are like, oh, go to the hospital. I can't. Still, no money. It's not going to do me good. All they're going to do is clean it with saline, rip the dead skin off, and bandage it once a day while I sit in the hospital and get all the other stuff, the inflammation. But if that goes down, then I got to be ready to have the test done. Tests will cost more than the entire money at that point than we have in the bank. So it is a big circle. It's not an excuse. This is not fake. I am now asking you guys to also reach out to the senator, because if he's doing it for the other male expats, and it's just not the drama ones, he has helped a lot of male expats. I've never seen him cover a female expat. So I'd be really curious to see if we could get the help from the senator. Again, I didn't want the extra exposure. I'm already putting myself out there. Anybody else covering me right now, and I guess it is fair game, they can go ahead and do so. It only brings me views. It only brings me 1 peso closer to getting this procedure. And right now, I'm probably at $300 or $400 a month in meds alone. So it's been a journey. If I could go home, my son this morning said, you know, he goes, you've got to come home. I said, what makes you? So if my own son has doubts of why I can get on a plane, it's because you guys can't fathom that based on losing a leg or dying, that somebody can't get on a plane. But if I can't stand long enough to do 2 or 3 dishes, if I'm having an issue standing long enough, my legs and arms and body go stiff and rock hard. I've fallen several times in the last month, and I just can't stand that long. There is no blood flow going through my body. I can't, and I'm not even getting any pain meds at this point. This is the insane part, because with a weak heart, I can't even do that. And I definitely qualify, but I can't. I refuse to take morphine and these other things until I know I'm only here for another 2, 3 weeks. Because once you take it, you're down, you sleep all the time. That's the end of it. So this is what I'm dealing with, and it's got to be my only hope. I would hope the senator, I know this is going to take time, and they have sent the senator's people out to the House. They've sent people to Angels City. So, in my opinion, there shouldn't be any reason why he shouldn't. None. And it's because I just can't see why. It's what he does, and let's see what happens. I've always said I felt like our channel's been picked at and messed with, and it's not because I bring the drama. It's not because, and somebody said recently, most recently, that you would think she would be nice now that she's dying. What the fuck are you even talking about? I have been. We have laid up on covering other people's crap and things that are going down and hushing it down on things that are going on in the Philippines, not going and talking about other channels. Not that they aren't examples right now, but now I'm making myself a prime example. The true supporters and the ones that are out there will actually support, but there's going to be a limit. There really is going to be a limit. Yes, it is my fault what's happened, whether it's from eating or being overweight or whatever. But I do have a recent medical history of issues going on, and it's been a difficult road. It is hard on George. We've had to take a look at the whole thing of, wow, he just lost his mom and grandmother within a year. He also told the senator, I don't want to lose my wife in the next year either. And so this is rough. So this would be one hell of a con, a ploy, or whatever, just to get 3,000 US dollars. Okay, because there was a private fund specifically given just to the one cardiologist. It is only for that. It is to go back to the guy if it's not used for that clinic. Okay, because I'll be seeing the guy afterwards and everything, like before, after all of that. So technically, there's only so much money in the bank. I cannot fly home. I will need oxygen, whether you guys are believing that or not. I still need it part time when my oxygen drops to 80 or 70 or where it's been up and down all over the place. I cannot travel without the oxygen, which will require, soon as they see it, I got to carry it to the front, where the plane is. They're going to ask for a clearance. I'm not getting a clearance even if I pay for one right now. I cannot risk my life due to blood clots. I cannot take the pain. And now with my leg like this, there's no way. So even if you put me in a wheelchair or whatever, it's not going to fly. Pain wise and body wise, I cannot. It's risking my life and I will not get clearance. And when they see me coming, my face alone looks like I've got kidney issues. So it's not that I'm just going to look big and fat. That's going to keep me from getting on the plane. You can tell I'm sick. So it's going to scream that. And that's just where it is, guys. So this is went from one stage to another, and the hole actually opened up yesterday. Let's see. I'm going to open this up. This is just going to show you the audio is muted. Let's see where it is. Yeah, it just shows where I got bit by the cat. So I'm like, George was not here. I went to go out and get a package because some of you guys are new to the channel. For those rewatching, could be the senator and his people watching. But I went outside, stepped out on the porch, and the cat bit me because I either got his foot or his tail. Thank God I don't have rabies. It didn't turn infected. That's iodine on there, by the way. This was just a few days ago. So as you can see, the circulation, even my tattoo is fading. I got a tattoo a while back, probably 30 years ago, but it was not that faded. That's just showing you how pale I've become in the circulation. That had color a few months ago. So that is a tattoo there. And this is what it looked like. Okay. And then I could feel the dip in it. And there it is. That was the next day. It wasn't, it was day before. And you could see how dry the skin is. Okay. And I'll explain my hair a little bit more. And then there it is. I could put probably my pinky or thumb in there right now, just in a 2-day period. So, and then of course, I will let you know I specifically looked this up because I knew what was going on. But that way you guys could see it. Here's your information. Oh, I guess I didn't have it in there. I thought I had something that explained. But basically, it is not going to heal. 25-30% of people either die within a year from these type of, like, because of circulation, infection, sepsis, anything is coming around. So it's I'm overwhelmed because it's either going to be the death of me. I'm trying to get this off of here. 1 second. Sorry, guys. I was moving the oxygen machine around. Or I'm going to die from the coronary artery disease. And I should have been gone a few months ago. So it is by God's grace and me probably taking my medicines, resting at the right time, that I'm still here. And my skin is breaking out because the circulation and dry skin, and my hair was coming out in clumps. So it was either get this haircut, which I did myself, which seemed to be pretty freeing, or it was just bad. It was just coming out in clumps. So I wasn't going to just leave it with patches. So this happened within the week, about a week. It's been about a week. So, but I'm jumping around because there's a lot on my mind. You guys could only imagine, you know, you can only imagine that it's really worrisome for my family back in America. I know they want me to come home. I want to go. Who wants to stay here and die of poisoning in your leg? And I know you guys will say, go to the hospital. It's not going to save my leg if I can't get the stents. It's not an excuse. And whoever goes on about it is an idiot and lying themselves. They're lying to themselves. They don't know what to think. But it's a roundabout circle that I've caused myself by moving to a foreign country without permanent insurance and thinking I could leave. But more than half the guys are making that plan now. They are just planning to return, and most of them do to get medical treatment. I thought I would have had more time. I don't have more time. I've made peace. There's a good chance that's exactly how I'm going to die. And the senator is going to be my only hope at this point. I'm sure of it now. Um, and if not, I just sit here day to day. Remaining money is going for medicine, a couple hundred a month. It's paid for equipment, hospital bed. It's paying for anything dealing with medical right now. So the money that everybody is supported is not at waste. Nobody's getting rich. I don't call under 5,000 total in hand that's been used. That's me getting rich since January. Give me a break. I mean, but you're going to have your haters, lovers, and it only spreads the word. So once again, I'm pleading to you guys to reach out. You can find Raffy at his Raffy Tulfo in action. Yes, he is a senator. Um, and the more people I'm sure that he hears from is the better. The only other thing we could do is literally go to the studio. I can't. George went to Manila a few days ago. I could not go. He double asked me again, and just George is in the same boat as you guys. It's like, can't you do it? And it's like, you just don't, you won't get it until you become sick. And now, for the last 2 weeks, I've been nauseous and gagging, and I've been going through these things somewhere between the medicine and just the circulation issue. So, but that is where I'm at. And I will ask those that are moderators, we're not tolerating no more troll shit. None. The others will not be addressed. You guys are not, you can do whatever you're going to do, but I will let you know that the same 5, 6 people in the same channels are going in circles. It's only a total of probably 10 people going around trolling other YouTubing accounts, leaving the same messages, creating accounts. So don't be fooled by all the bullshit and lies. And it's the same people. They come in, they create accounts. The YouTubers do. They come in and they do the same thing. So anybody that's a moderator and has access, just get rid of them. It doesn't matter. Don't just block temporarily. Just get rid of them. Let them make an account. It's okay. You guys do not get blocked for just coming in and asking. But when you go in, you guys, it's the same thing. You are those accounts. You come in, you play it slow, and then you come in and you start talking bad about George and me, and it's not even true. You guys have no idea, and I realize more than ever that a lot of people made shit up about people over the years. It's just, you start to fall into those lies, especially these days. So, but I will go in here again and start. Hello, hello. Tio Chong is in the house. And I will get talking about the topic of it really is sad about that building falling, and hopefully they find these people. This storm the other day was a hell of a storm. Hey, what's going on, Pat? And again, I started to say it's okay for you guys to ask things. It's okay for your comments. Nobody is butthurt the way you guys are for coming in and commenting. And there is no karma in the whole fucking world. You channels, you know who you are. The big channels, these are people over certain amounts. You know who you are. So the fact you're calling it karma and kickback and deserve, nobody does. Nobody does. You're just fooling yourself and making your own content, patting yourself on the back, bored. I don't know what it is, but I have not done nothing to you. I have not done anything to these other bloggers. I have not done anything to the individuals I've covered. Covering in a YouTube live stream and doing YouTube content, it's just what it is. We've said over the years, it's fun, it's joking, it's all of this, but there is no karma where somebody deserves to die. And for the fact you guys would say it, then your karma is coming, because we've never wished anybody dead the way you guys are going on. Don't help, don't do it, she's a lie, she's a scam, she deserves to die, she's here comes her karma. And it's like, what the fuck? I knew you guys would turn it to something. So the moment I end up on Raffy, you guys will say that I scammed him. The moment I end up in the hospital and I'm showing these all the procedures and that I had to sit there for a few weeks before it, you guys are going to still make something up. Well, she was fat and deserved it. Well, you guys are always going to find something. And honestly, the only thing I care about is getting this done and living another 10, 15 years because of it. It's what actually matters. And I'm going to keep talking about it and I'm going to keep showing it. And it took a lot of courage for me to come on and show that I even did this to my hair. Not because I'm worried about the trolls. They would have ate that shit up anyways. They're going to use it whether or not. They're going to use it whether I got a haircut or not. It was a matter of me coming forward and asking the senator for help and showing you guys that I'm getting worse. So, hello, good morning there in the Philippines. Good to see you, my friend. Like the hair. Actually, it is very freeing, and you could actually see more of my gray hair this way. I told George it's really weird. And here's another thing. I don't have to wait. My hair was falling out, but like George says, it was still thick. And my hair dries in like a second versus waiting 30 minutes to lay down or 40 minutes. I'd have to sit up, and if I wasn't feeling good, I would just have to sit there with the fan on me. I wasn't going to use a blow dryer. And so it dries really quick too. Oh, it does. It does give it the fish tank. It makes it look like, yeah, the other one, yeah. Hey, Papa in the Philippines is in the house. Good morning. And here's one other thing on the side. The senator is my only hope at this amount. I don't know what I expect the senator to do, whether he is able to get the hospital to let me in, and then I will be making large payments every month. I know he has that much power. Okay, it's called promissory. He's got enough property, word, anything could cause them to just let me pay on the bill, and as I would. And so that's the least I'm actually hoping for. But also, he will definitely make 30,000, 40,000. I know what YouTube makes based on 1 million for his show, plus his advertisers, and then his people. So I know he has the ability to either have it paid for and help me. And it's really putting me in a vulnerable spot to put me out there that I'm sick and overweight and with lupus and couldn't pay and all that shit. As an American, especially with what's going on right now, it is utterly embarrassing to be an American with what's going on. We won't recover from what's going on in America for the next 50 years. It's beyond embarrassing for me all the way around to not be able to afford this, which who can afford anywhere between 20 and 60,000 these days? The average person has less than 10,000 in the account. So this is really rough on me. So this is like the hardest thing I've ever done. So in relying on that, that's what I'm actually doing. This has put me pretty vulnerable also for George. And he has been the main support and helps take care of me, especially since January. And so we will see how this goes. So, and I was starting to say the more in the last month that we would say, hey, support us, or you can do this, the less people have, because I guess it's like they're being forced, or the ones who have already given. That's why we've gotten where we've gotten as our basic system, our basic people that are here. So it's been a weird thing that when you don't ask, me and George learned this a few years ago, if you ask for sticker money or you force it or say you're trying to get money for things, it's like the opposite with people. When you stay silent, then it actually happens. We find it every time that we don't mention it. So um, it is weird. The P collapsed. Uh-oh. Uh, Gotta love this. There we go. Multiple times in my life I've had hair and I've had a shiny dome. I now know what military people feel like. And you know what I do now, because I have like that nervous thing. Now I'm doing this all the time. And I used to see guys with military haircuts, or like black men with super short haircuts. I used to do this. And recently I got a boar bristle brush that looks like a almost like a horse brush or something, but it looks like one, it's the round circle one. And George walks up and he's like, pretty, pretty pony. And he'll come up and he'll brush my hair. But no, it actually stimulates the hair and everything. But I've been brushing, it's been weird. The cats like it. They wish I would brush them with it. George goes, you had to get them one too. I've started to go bald. I'm shaving my head. Uh, George is due for a haircut. I told him to go get one, and he's refusing because they keep every time they butcher him. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm gonna have to sit on the toilet while you stand there, and I'll cut it or something. But I said it's gonna be rough. Yes, people have asked that, and no, not. We've lived so long in the Philippines now. We don't have access to any banks or no work history now, and so no, in order to get that kind of money, the payback would be like 2000 US a month. It would be something unreal, even to start. And a million is not going to be enough. I'm sorry, it's not an excuse. That's what Mike paid recently, last year. And I have complications. And now with my leg, they're going to want to heal the leg. And they're going to want me in the hospital to get rid of the fluid, bring down the inflammation, because I cannot lay flat for the procedure. And if I can't lay flat on the table, I can't have them done because you're awake. So there's just no way. My chest is tight. I have problems breathing, and I'm starting out in a bad position. So it went from bad to worse just almost overnight. So it just all of a sudden felt like I had pneumonia. I was putting it off to being sick again because of the autoimmune issue. To, like Mike said, I think he said he felt like he had a cold or something. And that's basically what happened sometime in December, but no, it would be an impossible here. We don't have any collateral, none. And I think someone started asking about family members, same thing. None of my kids they don't own the house, they're renting. So cars aren't worth enough. So no, we're not that type of family. We don't have, so I would say minimally I'd get away with would be a million if it wasn't for me having to enter the hospital. So add another couple 100,000 for dealing with the leg now and going in and getting rid of stuff. And then that, so I'm figuring 1.5, 2 million, 40,000. So, but we'll know a little bit more. And I know that doctor's going to freak out when I go in there. He's going to say, yeah, you don't have much time. Not with the way this hole opened up almost overnight. So, and I was on antibiotics. So antibiotics, it's not infected. It's just no circulation. So there is no reason to continue on that. They may put me on them when I go in. That's what I'm used to seeing him do, is getting the scammers. Oh, he does way more than that, Rob. He goes and helps. If you look, I would say half his stuff is helping Filipinas or Filipinos or like children. There's one now he's covering that was in a wheelchair. And no, not all of them are scammers, and not all of them are based on that. They go on there as expats. You'll see, I've seen the homeless ones, I've seen sick ones. He helped. That's where Carrie went on and did the empanada tatai. That's where she opened up her YouTube. And he was living on the streets. He even got him the money and set him up with a business license, knowing his immigration wasn't paid off. So give me a break. If he did that and took on a guy he knew his immigration status had been out of status for years, had been homeless for years, and then helped him fix that, and then helped him start a business on top of it, and gave him money and got him a place to live, I don't see why he can't. I get the amount is freaky. Nobody needs him to do that, but to give up the money for one show, or the money he's going to make, he averages at least 1 million. Put on an overweight, plus size, loudmouth American woman dying with this haircut, with this mom, and he's not going to get help. I would really be surprised. It just doesn't make any sense. Whether he makes me a freak show, which most of those shows try to do, I'm sorry, it is the way these shows operate. I just seen a Howard Stern show where Richard Simmons was invited in right before he died, and he totally flipped the script on him. Totally flipped the script on the guy. Oh, well, your housekeeper isn't your friend, and that's your hired help. They don't like you. And I'm like, wow, just leave the man alone. It's like, so that's what I'm concerned about, is him trying to flip, oh, you're an American, you have money, or why don't you this? Because they do laugh tracks, and I expect it. But what choice do I have right now? I'm at the mercy of one senator that definitely has the ability. It's just going to be a matter of how long it's going to take. How long is it going to take for him to respond? So that's why I've asked people to reach out. So, yeah, that is most definitely, every sticker and every view is going towards this whole situation. And again, people are like, oh, well, she's never going to get it. She's just out spending the money. Yeah, I'm spending it on $300, $400 a month worth of meds, doctor appointments. Like I said, I just bought the oxygen machine, the big one. It's been going towards those expenses. And when I die, the remaining money will cremate me, period. That's exactly what's going to happen, is funeral. And the funeral funds, the money I've got, several thousand, will probably be exactly enough to pay for that. So that won't even be available in the end. So, yes, every bit helps. And, now we just have to go drastic. I'm either going to lose my leg or my life day to day right now. So, good question. If you contact me, if you just go and Google AI Senator Raffy Tulfo, there's 3 or 4 addresses that you can email him. I think he's even got a helpline. That's where I actually got it. So yeah, I probably should have put one up. I just thought about that too. Yes, initially I did. No, you cannot. Wounds are all different. Wound treatment's different. They had decided a while back not to do the like ace bandaging or compression stockings because of my issues. They were too severe. Because the swelling, it would go from my stomach to my legs. Just it was too complicated at that point. They weren't going to recommend it. Now with the wound care, you can't put nothing on it. So it was kind of like my spider bite thing. I can't even soak it. Initially, I did freak out because of what had happened, and I was soaking it in iodine and the sodium, the salt. And I think it did help. And I was on antibiotics right away from the doctors. And I think that kept it from getting majorly infected, but just no circulation is just causing it to cave in. And so I'm only able to clean it with the saline solution and maybe a thin layer of Vaseline to keep the edges from drying out. But you can't put nothing down in there. You can't put Neosporin. You can't put any of that. I can't. The iodine will eat up the tissue. And so will I did try the vinegar and salt water thing. It is very common, but it's just going to eat up the tissue. So everything's going to eat the tissue up and cause it to collapse faster. So if I go in the hospital, there's nothing more that I'm not doing that they will. except for they'll keep an eye to see if it's getting infected. Then they put me on an IV medication for infection at that point. And so that would be the only thing that they could do different than what I'm just nothing. Need my wife on a plane with you. She's saved a guy's life when she flew to Australia. Old man had a heart attack, chest compressions, his butt back from coding. I don't want to be rescued like that, dude. I just can't. It's just I see your wife is like, "What you doing, woman?" That would be cool. Ah, thank you, Second Wind. Yeah, there's 93. Yeah, they're gonna come in to see the drama. So it's understandable. Like I said, it's fair play. Nobody knows the game more than I do. So hey Vet Vlog, what's going on? Hey everyone, don't forget to throw a light at the channel. Love these guys. It's late in the month, so I don't have any money to send. Hope you guys fight to keep healthy. I am, but I really had a good cry this morning because when I seen that hole, it's like I knew it was coming. So it's not pretty. So I'm like, great. And so here's my problem. I'm very outspoken. I'm very, very boisterous. So I tell George what's on my mind. I'm like, I'm going to lose my leg, or I'm going to die in my sleep, or just drop of a heart attack. It's one or the other, day to day. And so George is so quiet and passive at the same time. I just now realize he's got to be freaking out. He can't get the money. He doesn't know where to get the money, and he's just watching me die. And I was like, shit, what if that was me and George was dying? What would I feel right now not having enough money in the bank to take care of any of his medical, and watching him die? I'd probably want to throw up and off myself. It would be that bad. So he's watching me slowly die. And so it's really a rough situation. And it takes more courage than the cowards that are covering this to actually tell you guys this. I know they're covering it. I give you about as much rope to actually off your guys' selves looking stupid on your channels and the stupid stuff you say and your comments. And I hope so too, that it was worth the 20 pesos that you're being paid per view or whatever to go on about it, or just for the hell of it. But I outdo you by far. I will die with pride in this hospital bed, smiling as I die. I'm trying. I have actively tried to take care of myself the last couple years. You may not believe it, but a little hard to fight steroids, a little hard to fight the medications I was on for lupus. And you know, it's just been a rough road the last few years just with the lupus alone, but there was no reason to go home based on this. So oh, my Heidi, that's terrible, not good, my friend. Well, one day at a time. I sit here in pain all day. I hurt when I get up to do things, but I can't sit still. George is like, I'll get it, I'll get it. I'm like, I can't sit here. So then I'll get up and do something. And then it's funny, I'll be standing in the kitchen. I was like, oh, I gotta go, I gotta go. And literally I only have like 30 seconds to either hit the couch or the bed, or I drop. So it's been, like I said, it's been rough, guys. And how somebody could go on that I'm lying, it's made up, and then they want to change the story. Oh, it's just because she's fat. No, it's not because I'm just fat. I already said that. You ain't got shit on that. It's not just because of that. It's called I got old and got fat, and it's part of life. Perfectly skinny people drop from these issues. They lose their legs. It's a horrible disease. I'm eating and viewing this. Thank God I have a tough stomach, right? Yeah, you should have seen me rip the dead skin off that yesterday. You have to debris it. And that's exactly what they would do. They used to use a scalpel to cut it out of my leg all the way down to the bone. Used to take a scalpel and ream the inside of it every day. So you can't leave that tissue on because it'll just fester even worse. So, yeah. Gonna go through some of these comments. I know we have a different topic. They're usually on for 2 hours anyways, just reading through here. I appreciate it, Vet Vlogs. All the stuff is in the description for the support. Any of the sticker money, any of that goes into the accounts. And the crazy part is whether the money's taken out of PayPal, whether it's the stickers, there's a small percentage that actually comes out anyways. Hey, what's going on, Steve? Can you ask your family in the US to help? Yeah, there's no way. I can't make it back. And like I said, as far as getting loans, it's not going to happen. So if I could have, I would have done this. You think I wanted to sit around? I knew my leg was caving in. I just was hoping it wouldn't. Again, didn't know what kind of miracle would have came up. I could have got the stent sooner. But without the stents, the healing is not going to happen. So no circulation equals it's just going to keep caving in. So it's not going to heal. There is no practicality that this is going to heal on its own without these stents. And then it could take months to actually heal it, and we still have to hope no infection takes my leg. I could still lose my leg after the stent. So yes, and I am working with him. So yes, but not like that. That he's not has no none of his friends or any of that is in the cardiologist field. So, and especially for the stents and everything. So it's nowhere even close to it. So his brother is in pediatrics, nowhere even close. He's just a basic pediatric doctor. There's no specialty in, pulmonary or something. So unfortunately, the answer is no. I've been able to use him for some things. Most definitely. Hey, what's going on, Sarah? Yeah, bounce people that come in from now on. We can kind of tell who they are. It's the same 5, 6 people, you know. But good morning, good morning. No, of course he's not going to because one, he's a coward and he's worried that he'll be sued. But there's several people using our name outright, and we're not. They ain't got no time for that shit. And next off, he did that to several other channels. If you look at his channel, he covers multiple channels and does this. So it's sad. It's sad that he's got a wife and he's got such a career and such a good life in America where he is an immigrant and he comes in and does this. Good for him. What he's trying to say is I deserve it too because I have not watched it. I go by thumbnails and I have read comments, but when I went in there, they're the same people. They talk about the same stuff, the same lies. They totally go in and make stuff up, and it's like, oh wow, they're the same people. You could tell by the comments. It would a genius, to not see that it's the same people that are making accounts up. So they try to pretend like it's 100 people, but either way, it is sad and pathetic. So it's kind of just useless. The views, I mean, under 100 views sometimes, who knows? But a lot of these guys are not getting views. It's just for their own personal hate. So nothing wrong with questioning, nothing wrong with making statements. But when you allow it to go on and then you leave all the shit up on your channel, then you're part of it. You're a part of it, and I hope it's worth it. So I can't think of one expat that we did this to that was sick and dying where we kicked them in the teeth when they were down. We never once did any of that. We never belittled, degraded, and did that. Just because we would talk about an age gap or somebody being old or they shouldn't have been on hormones and shouldn't have had kids late, that has not shit to do with leaving shit up and talking about somebody being obese and letting other people rip somebody apart. It's just ridiculous and childish. So I'm going to die one way or another, and you ain't going to change that. And even when you get all your proof, even when you see this, then you're going to turn around and make something new up so you have more content. And I told George, I said, I expect you to continue the channel and to still talk about this. I said, because when I die, they're going to go on for years about this shit. And I said, and they're definitely going to make shit up. So it'll be down to she was fat. That's what killed her. And she was broke. So you'll find one or the other. So when we get the money and this all goes through, then you're just going to go on about me being big. And it's like, you know, Sarah, other moderators, I'm just going to ask out loud. I hate, for now on also, and sorry, Black Rample, anybody that mentions the other vloggers that are covering this, I want the comment can be removed individually. So I don't mind or want these people blocked because they mention the other channels, but if they continue, then we will have to. I am not giving, like, just mentioning this is enough to actually give the guy credit. And so they'll go over to see what he's saying. I would hope you guys would visit them and tell them, what's a what, but I don't want you guys involved in that. It's not even worth our time at that point. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and I don't know if you guys had heard, but my rooster, my dumb butt left the gate open on my chicken farm. So I'm already losing cats and chickens. And he got out like 2 days ago, and I seen him last night, so he is still here. But that bad storm flooded her out really bad, and you can only cover him up so much. And I can't bring the whole cage in the house; it's too big. And George has got it like strapped to the other cage, so it won't go anywhere. But she looks rough right now. And here's the thing: with him gone, like George said, there won't be any additional chicks. And she's been sitting on an egg. Sadly, this morning I seen the egg. I seen the egg on the other side of the cage. So either she had a second egg after the egg. I don't know if that's possible. It probably is. I think they keep. I thought they stopped laying eggs, but yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but he's gone and she looks awful lonely and her feathers, although she's dried out, she actually looks pretty weak. So I thought she was dead this morning. I looked at her. I tried to reach in her cage yesterday and tried to pet her. She was mean as a snake. She was like pecking at me and everything. So yeah, it was like really messed up. So let me go in here. Yeah, and if somebody wants to be a moderator, just contact me. Uh, Laura, I made you a moderator. It just means that you're able to go in there. I know, look at me. I look like George. I feel like, what is that singer? Is he even blind? It's not Ray Charles. It's the other guy with dark black hair. When George wears those glasses like these, they're actually reading glasses, but they're meant to be like tinted or something. Yeah, because I'm having to stop talking to go in and grab somebody. Yeah, if they mention another channel, and you might have already done that, but I won't know looking at this program. I have to go into the YouTube to see what's being viewed because a lot of these are being held anyways. So the one that I'm seeing here may not even be here. Uh, hey, Laura. No, their own karma will actually come back for sure. It's just like being diabetic on the deep wound. I see Laura talking about that further down. Right? It is like Jerry Springer. Okay, so I'm going to leave that comment to the new account. AW says George needs to get a job. So okay, so you're on the cusp right now. So We've mentioned this before, but it's not where I consider not answering the comment and everything. Thank you, Sarah. No, he's not going to get a job. One, they rarely hire over the age of 50. Two, who's going to help around here? I can't do this all on my own. I can't do anything anymore. And I need somebody here. I've been falling. I need the assistant, and I'm not going to pay. Okay, to bring somebody in to take care of me right now would be hundreds of US dollars. And I don't have that either. So I need a caretaker. He has been active since January. There is no work. And I'm not going to have him gone for 12 hours a day for $10. It'll cost me way more than that to keep him here. You know, it's that is no excuse. That's the truth. Try getting a job in the Philippines. You don't come to the Philippines to get a job. You don't get work after the age of 40, and 50 is considered old. And George would be considered old here. He's not going to drive and buy a trike to run around town to take people around for 1,000 pesos a day. So it's not worth losing him as the person that's helping me. It is that critical that I need somebody here all the time. So we have mentioned that. So, oh, silly, the Willie Penguin. Yeah. It's actually really soft. Hey, what's going on? Saying hello to Laura. Thank you, Oreo. I hope so too. And there's been a few of our people that have already reached out. So if you just go to his YouTube page and go into the comment sections, you probably be the best way to reach him. There is a female American that's dying in the Philippines. Please help. The more names that come through, and then if you just AI or ask them for his email, there's like three or four of them. So that's probably the best way. And he is. I'm hoping that it would be more than a kick in the teeth if he didn't at least respond. And, oh, I was months behind and couldn't help you. I don't think it's that either. We need to find, a way to get to him as soon as possible. And this may take months. I expect that. I don't expect it overnight, but I feel the more we keep, at him, shouldn't have to, because I'm sure when those, what was remind me of the channel Armstrong. That was a very basic case. He brought them on right away, and that was all about he said, she said, cheating, and the girlfriend said something bad about me. He got him right on right away during all that. That happened immediately. So if he's just bringing people on for simple things, if he doesn't take me on, then he's scared about something. And it's not, and I'm sure the trolls will go on, yeah, because he thinks you're scamming. No, that's you being a troll. So we have the proof. He has the proof. It would just be a matter of him deciding not to, which would really be devastating. So to double down on that, we are contacting GMA and other people until the senator says, yes, we're not going to give up. So if we contact other big people, the story will eventually have to. So got to understand, I understand he's got a lot of Filipinos to take care of. I get that. So, it's, one day at a time. 12 hours, yeah, nope. That was crazy. Pat might be heading out. Yeah, I put that on the P. The P kicked the bucket. You guys are just talking back and forth, and we do appreciate it. Love you. And I hope you guys are going to have that you guys been having a good Memorial weekend. And what you guys, I don't know what everybody's celebrating with the barbecue, or, and not forget the people who have died for America. The soldiers that have fought for everything up to what's going on in America. That's got to be a big kick in the teeth at some point for some veterans. and for others that fought for the freedom of speech and to fight for the people in the country and for benefits and all that, and they're all being stripped at once. It is like somebody, I seen a shirt the other day and it was a real t-shirt. Somebody goes, I'm old enough to remember before the world fell apart or before America fell apart or something. I was like, amen to that. In our 50s and 60s and 70s, remember when nothing close to this was even happening, when they weren't making viruses up, or and I'm not saying they're made up, they've added stuff to it. I believe these all existed. I believe all the extra vaccines were money and just different things, guys. So the whole point is I miss that America, and I do support the Americans. It's the government that is now corrupt by extensive money and seats being bought, and there's a lot going on, guys. So we can only pray for the people, the military, that this doesn't go any further. So I wanted to get that out there. Your detail oriented second win. Now, would you notice the ceiling? Oh my gosh. So, Jerry, right? That's his show can be like that. I've seen the people like, cussing each other out and everything. That's what it could be. Okay, so you probably already got bounced. So that's your last chance for calling George an actual. Sorry, this is where you could say we're butt hurt or not, but um, not going to take that either. So I knew that was coming, and you're probably the same person. There's only a few haters. I probably say a dozen total that are just obsessed. Somebody was so obsessed they've been going on the internet creating. I can't even begin to tell you, but it's the same person because they make up the same stuff. They talk about our careers like they exist or something, and it's really weird. But it's just weird that somebody would be that obsessed. But I mean, I guess it's the best form of what they call flattery or something. Wound healing needs increased protein, but circulation. No, it does. So I try to stay on a high protein diet because of the stomach surgery that I had. The problem is besides a cardiac output of 2.5, that's the only thing that's the most important. Their blood's trickling through my body. And then being I'm not moving all the time and I can't stand more than 5-10 minutes at a time, there's just totally no activity. It's like when people are in wheelchairs or when they're bedridden, they get the decubitus and ulcers just from laying. They don't even have to have an injury. So that's yeah. And I thought too, I've got some nursing in my background, and I thought, okay, well, I can just put this on there and put that. And it's like, no, no, and no. Of course, I knew peroxide and all that other stuff and iodine long term would cause some sort of damage, but I had no idea that it's just so basic. And so, yeah, because even the spider bite, they debrided it and plugged it. I can't even use the iodized gauze that they used to stuff in the hole. I can't even put that in the hole because it's totally different with this type of issue. It's totally flips it. Thank you, thank you. No, Neosporin can be bad. Hey, what's going on, D Man? Good morning. Yeah, speaking of which, okay, Vet Vlogs, you're an actual moderator. I thought we had already set you up. I think I had asked George, but George is got like a one track mind sometimes. If you tell him, go feed this, go feed the cats, or this, and that, if he's in the middle of doing something, he doesn't hear nothing. So, no, so you are. I just had to check that. If he looks like one or smells like one, what happens? It's the same guys that come in and create accounts. They're under 2 years. if you see a 12 or 14-year account, they're almost always a 12, 14-year-old account. It is a YouTuber that's been around for a while, and they've created tons of accounts back in the day to mess with all those other vloggers they used to pick on. There used to be like a YouTube war, 10, 15 years ago. So it's been toxic here forever. So you'll know, like the guy came in and starts slowly asking questions that are geared towards pretty much, what the fuck have you done? And then it flipped to saying that George was a bum. So it's kind of like I knew it was coming and he didn't disappoint. So just, I don't care if you bounce them or not. They'll just create another account and they're watching. So it's, but I appreciate it, Vet. Now you're officially one in Laura because they're, and like I said, if they mention another YouTuber or another person that they've got content, block them. I don't care if they're the big channels because I'm not giving them one more second of my time. So except for talking about it right this minute, be like, well, you're talking now. Well, I have to get this out. George said, boop, that's it. And it's not because they won. There's just no reason anymore. They're going to cover me anyways. And that's fine. We're just, let's see. I think too that Vet, he never responded. I see. So did any of you guys, yeah. Did any of you guys see what happened in Angel City? I just seen where Chubbs Dub C covered it within the last 24 hours. And he's like boots on the ground. He's down there. I have footage that I'm going to share with you of the incident in Angel City at 3 in the morning. Let me get some of this. Okay. So what's going on? Let me cover. It's the second hour of the live stream. Thank you for everybody that stayed in here. In Billy Bago area, or considered close, they said it was close to the Walking Street area at 3:45 a.m. after this storm. There was a bad storm and there was a tornado in the area. I don't know if it was just a bunch of wind that weakened the structure or like they said, the building codes here can be a little helter-skelter here. There are different numbers, so I'm unsure of the numbers. They said initially somewhere around 40 were missing, 24 of them escaped. I'm wondering what construction workers were there at 3:45 a.m. That's what they're saying. It was 3:45 a.m. and that many of the construction workers escaped. Now, they might have been asleep and living there. This is not uncommon, even for big buildings. I guess it was a possible hotel going up, guys. My nose again. So they sleep on the spot, like they come from Manila and they'll just sleep there. So here it did say it was a hotel. So X amount escaped. I'm probably off on the number, but there are still missing around 20 or something. Death toll has not been mentioned. They said they could hear the people yelling out. So I didn't have the strength to cover this when it came out. So this is all within, I think, 48 hours. So this is exactly when it happened. And I have some drone footage of showing what it looked like. There was hail on the ground. Or hail on the ground. There was hail and everything during the storm. Incredible.
Putang ina, grabe. Wasak, men. Wasak. Gumuho ngayon lang. Ito, gumuho.
Yeah, my guess is the construction workers were actually living nearby or at the facility. It's kind of crazy. I think they're saying she was in this, which is scary. Here's some of the storm. No, there was like hail falling and George was saying, there was lightning, power was going in and out. This is one of the strongest storms that I feel that we've seen, even over the typhoons. This came up like boom, all of a sudden. This is the next morning.
Sa may aircon daw na yan, yung aircon na yan. Beside the door. No, not there. Beside.
That whole thing just fell apart. The construction had to be shoddy, guys. By far. I mean, it went down.
Left side the door.
So now there's a lot of questions, a lot of investigation.
And second floor. Second floor. Meron sir. Sir, saan ang pasok dito? Okay, sige sir. Kung sakali, mag-prepare tayo ng isang ambulance dito.
I mean, a big shout out to the crews.
Hello, dapat nandito rin yung ambulance natin, no?
Because when it comes to rescue
Eto,
operations,
susubukan nilang i-rescue.
Filipinos
Ayan.
have it like
Ang
down
nagiba, no?
pat. It's like become
tayo
a
ngayon sa
second
Balibago.
hand to them. And the
Pang-ating
survivors too.
coverage to ay sa
It's amazing.
GBAM 700 kHz.
I'd probably be stuck in a bed shaking for weeks if something like this happened.
Shout or bang something. Find you. Something hit it. Hello. You hit something.
Here's the drone shot. So there it is. So you could see the walking area, the Angeles City area. And of course it affected the place next door, and the restaurants and everything cannot operate. It was a big deal. Here in a minute, it'll show our area versus our video cameras where we had lightning and like how it affected our area. But usually we don't cover this sort of thing. I know we've covered some of the like typhoon stuff, like this last one, what has been about 6 months ago, 7 months. But it is a danger here. It was my second worry next to medical was things like this, collapsed buildings, bad weather. You know, it just, here's the thing, once you get here, you can't really, no, we've never seen things blow like this or George made a joke, the only thing that blows harder is me. There she blows. So, the lightning, you can't hear it. It was really loud. So, there's the old trusty E-trike. And there it is. Look at that. I had no idea that this is the first that I've paid attention that there is that there's actually, that's real. That's not AI. And here's the thing, these days you have to check. You really do. Everything looks so real now. And I could have created that photo for sure, but it's real. But it's a scary situation, and our hearts go out to the families of those that are still missing, and blessings to the operation crews that are going through all of that, and the guy who owned it. I mean, that's going to be a big financial loss also. So hope you were insured. That's for sure. So I'm not sure if you guys had heard about any of that. So, hey, Sarah, when you came to the Philippines, you started a help channel for would-be visitors or wannabe residents about how to get, yes. Here's the thing. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Sarah, because we did. Like, you could look at our channel all the way up till after the pandemic and after the country reopened. It took us, we were here for over 2 years still doing that. Did we say something about, oh, so-and-so's on a budget or whatever? Yeah, we never covered any drama. But I hate to say it, the drama helped the channel, but it wasn't that type of drama. I've challenged anybody. I challenge anybody in the room right now to go on and tell us who we went on so bad about drama that I deserve to die. You know, it's weird, but we have not only covered that. her channel and his channel are only drama. And I'm like, you know what? I know I'm kind of defending it now, but it's like it wasn't even worth mentioning it when the others had mentioned it. Um, there's close to 1,000. We've put some on private on the videos of things. That's all we've done is help. We still talk to people. We still help people. And lately, the new people don't even remember us pre all of this. You know, we've said we've always covered everything. That's why we are called Antics. And we have not only done full-time live streams and help people, but someone the other day, brand new, was like, oh, we'd love to see more of these videos. There's been a lot of comments about our home videos, or just like, yeah, we used to do a lot more of those. So, and they are in there. So we've slowed down. George is doing more things out and about and more things with his family. And, you know, with me being sick, I don't get out anymore. And so it's been, you know, things have changed, but nope, that's what we did. We still do. We haven't denied anybody. And so it's what we do. My friend is having lung problems with her lupus. She works as a teacher, and it's very hard. She is getting some treatment, but very tired. Yeah. Like I said, I thought that's what was going on. I could deal with that or needing knee replacement or my skin cancer. So I had been dealing with the skin cancer and talked to you guys about it. I mean, I've got more than one issue, but it wasn't enough to send me home. We could afford those type of treatments. It wasn't being hit with 30, 40,000 US all at once. And so after selling everything, burning through the savings to go home all of a sudden and restart, we would have to reapply all over again for Georgia's immigration. And I just seen something that was attached to the US Embassy. They're saying that anybody applying for a green card now cannot do it inside the US. So if you were there as a student or other things, you have to apply for all green card statuses back in your home country. So these people are supposed to go home and apply and wait for it for a few years. It's just really weird. So they've totally changed the rules now on that type of status. And so no, we're not going through that again. So until this hit, then it was kind of, you know, it was a hard decision. My dad had a deep wound from his surgery. It was terrible. It was really deep. It's hard to heal from that with any issues. I'm not diabetic, thank God, but everything is as if I had diabetes now, minus the insulin. Yeah, this has always been a channel I came to for information and guidance. It encouraged me to keep living during the times I felt incredibly heavy. Yeah, I'm so grateful for everything I've learned. And here's the thing, people would rather be coddled or go with these bully like channels that pick. I mean, who watches channels that flat out talk about somebody's sex life or being fat or has to keep going on about people's past or just outright, which is fine. I like the drama channels. I watch, you know, stupid shows like the Kardashians and all these shows that I know are made up. You know, all those people living on islands and stuff. And I know most of it's made up, but I'm not going to watch a channel directly. There was one I seen the other day. That's all they did was bash these people on 90 Day. They're fat, they're ugly, their hair is greasy. And I'm like, who watches that? If that is your cup of tea, then yeah, you're in the wrong place. But I do say what's on my mind. And if you guys don't like it, I mean, then this wasn't meant for you. And if you guys actually think that that's the only one side to me and you haven't looked at the rest of the channel, then your eyes are half closed. So we fight on air. We really do fight. We haven't hid any of that. All these other channels are hiding shit. All of them are hiding something right now. I promise you. Big time. But we're not going to say. I can tell you a bunch of shit about the Filipino P, but we're not. I can tell you a bunch of shit about 2 or 3 other channels, but we're not. That's where privacy and shit should be left alone. What people are doing and the information you already know already, there's just a limit to actually being able to say. So, and I don't mean harm on the P, that'll probably trigger this other guy. Every time we mention the P, he's triggered. No, I'm talking about we knew the whole thing about her going to America and being there and her dating and them running her channel, that type of shit. But there's more information. She had jobs before she was a YouTuber. We know about all that. So she'd like to hide all of that, and we would love to go on gossiping about it, but we don't. So, some things are just better left alone. So, from George and Heidi, over the years, I'm praying for comfort and peace and strength and brighter moments ahead, and only hope that we'll continue learning from George and Heidi for many decades to come. I hope so too. I just wish the pain would stop. I'm, it's, I don't think people realize the amount of pain. And I now realize in doing in home nursing and working at the neurological center how people must have been in pain all the time. And you see these adults and children that are just smiling the whole time, or they keep active with other things, like they would do, you know, other things to keep their mind off of stuff. And I'm like, but they were happy doing it. And I'm like, I see why. You got to focus on something. You have to focus on something beside the pain. Or I wondered how all these children had 9, 10 surgeries for cancer, or you see them constantly in the children's hospital. I'm like, how do they do this? How do they keep on going on every day? But they do. And they deal with the pain. It's just something, it's just part of the whole thing. So that is my biggest issue, is not giving in to going on meds that I know I qualify for. And because I know that's it, I just sleep all the time, and I can't see that either. Yes, the hospital bed, okay, that I have, I do. I go into a U shape. The problem is my legs, then when you're like a pretzel, then it hurts the tailbone, it gets stiff, the circulation is bad, the whole body gets stiff, and I got to keep like moving every 5-10 minutes. And so, yes, I do elevate my legs as much as possible. But then I have to also sit up like this. I can't just lay down all day. So I think the longest live stream I did so far since I've been sick was about 5 hours. So, hey, good morning, Ray. A big shout out to you. Hey, hey, hey. Right. Sorry, I just pictured you in a diaper saying mama, mama. Yeah, ninny, yeah. Because of family. Yeah. I thought so too, because I thought maybe he had a licensing like for everything, including the meds and stuff, like the pain meds. But here they're very strict on, just like America, they're very strict. So I told George I was just going to go in the pain clinic and just tell him exactly what's wrong, show it to him, and not even mention my heart shit. And they'll give it to me. I'm 100% sure. George had an interview of a guy that was at that clinic, and he never did get around to editing it. He said that the guy went on talking for 2-3 hours, and he just didn't have the strength to go through and edit everything. And, because sometimes he was talking about a lot of other stuff, and he still got the footage. I talked about that a few months ago, but we never did get it. But I can't do that either, because it's definitely, I can't see being dishonest with the pain clinic, and not telling them something's wrong. And yeah, it's just really messed up. No, that's what they are. Yeah, and anybody watching, like I said, he has a bunch of, probably hundreds of accounts, and adds in on his own comments. He has others that absolutely hate us because of MYK, and because of different shit, that they're just psycho and crazy about us and all of that. And they've created tons of accounts to make it like a ton of people hate us, but we're aware that it's a dozen. And the vloggers that are getting on board, I can think of at least 3 major ones. Good for them. And one of them suffers from the similar issues. Actually, a few of them have medical issues. And it's like, I don't get it. So I just hope it's worth keeping your video up. That it's, I don't even know how you even do it. And you could tell yourself all you want that it didn't go the way that but it did. And it's continued to go downhill. And so they should remove these videos. But we're not going to ask, and we're not going to hire attorneys to go after people or report their accounts, or it's just boop. Keep it up. That's up to you guys. Your chicken is a Canadian goose in disguise. That bitch got out. Oh my God. Me and Sarah was talking. She goes, I can just picture you out in the yard because I'm the one that goes out there at like 5 a.m. for the sun comes up. And I just walk up and I got his little cup of feed and the gate was already open. It was hysterical, right? It was already open. So I just put my hand in there and dump it. And I take my hand out and oh, because it was so automatic. Like I stay on a schedule. I'm up at 4:30. I'm out there doing that after my meds and steroids kick in. And I have to get things done when my steroid and my acetaminophen is in me. And I have energy from my 1 cup of coffee in the morning. And it's like I got to get out there and just, oh, wait a minute. And I was like, oh shit, he's missing. And I came in and there's George. Like somebody said, picture him half naked laying in bed. I was like, George, the rooster is gone. I said, she's here because she's sitting on an egg. If she wasn't sitting on that one egg, she'd be gone too. And it was like, oh crap. So there he was out there about half hour later with his little friends. But he initially had been coming in and out the gate. So I went to go grab him and he went back out there and his little gangster of friends came. There's like a whole flock. Like George said, they get out there in the morning, but all in the midday with the sun, they disappear. They go hide places. And I've seen them, but gone, man. But you could only picture me out there like trying to corner him and stuff. And George said, yeah, you ain't never going to catch him. You'd need a blanket or something. But we waited and he was out there during the storm and he's out there still. Like I said, sadly, I hope she's still sitting on an egg. George is a proud granddaddy. He bought himself like a $25 incubator because after they're born, even in the Philippines, um, you would want to keep them in something. We got to keep them safe from everything outside. So that hasn't even arrived, but I think the egg is cooked. I think she kicked it out this morning. So now there'll be none. So now she's just back to laying omelets. Right? There you go, second win. That is true. So true. So true. We got to have pogy, good looking moderators. You guys. Well, no, I wouldn't even hesitate. I wouldn't even hesitate. Anybody, you have to kind of use your discretion. I know it's weird to talk to the moderators here versus in private. You, over the years, 5 years, 6 years experience has told us a troll is a troll. They slowly will come in and play. So you will know our regulars. People are regulars with us. Okay. So if you have a channel that's a regular channel that comes in, we don't even like when they come in here advertising. Hey, I'm doing a live stream later. Hey, how are you guys doing? I've got videos coming out. Unless we really know and approve of them, we bounce these people. They're only using our channel. We've had so many of these channels that have grown over the 5 years that have used it just to come in and say, hey, and disappear. Then we get rid of those. And then we get rid of the ones that have come in like they are today. I know pretty much who that is. And they come in and then they slowly ask questions. Oh, can't you do this? And how long has this been going on? Oh, George is a bum and you're a fat bitch. And they do it every time. It's weird. But when they comment, it does push the algorithm and them watching causes a payment. Oh God, my nose does this every morning. But no, I don't put them in timeout. I get rid of them. Now, if it's just one of our regulars that mentions somebody, then of course we don't. We just know they're just simply mentioning them. I just delete the comment. So you can just delete the comment itself. I'm okay with that. but you'll see it coming. You could kind of see a troll is a troll, guys. The new moderators, that's how it's done. I don't care if it's Geo. If Geo comes in, and I love Geo. If Geo comes in talking about, hey, I'm going here and I'm going there, and come watch my live at 5 o'clock, then yes, we liable to block him. So we just got tired of people using us as a pit stop, and so it's they also wonder why they get blocked too. Yeah, you just can't talk shit on your channel and talk shit and then come into our room saying hello to everybody. So it's really weird, and that's why people get blocked. So, but it's, you know, but the timing out really doesn't do no good. They're just going to come back in 30 minutes or the account stays open. So if you block them, they have to go create another account, which takes time and effort, and there'll be a limit to how many accounts they can make. So I just found out that my high school friend died, same age as me. I need to hurry up and retire. Yeah, that's another thing about retirement and coming to the Philippines is that if there are some guys that are waiting to the oldest Social Security or to tap in on their other pensions and stuff. And that 5 year difference, I think people live less than 10 years after they're retired. It's like you're losing 5 years. And with what's going on in America and other parts of the world, I seen something that made sense. And I said, shit, we should have done this and took more money with us. Somebody said, hey, they were giving that sound advice shit. They were like, if you take out a loan for like 100,000, you could live overseas for 5 years or 7 years based on that money. It may be a really low amount of money, but you could do it. He says you could live overseas for 7 years till your credit clears. Because then they return back and just do a cycle of it. I'm like, oh damn. So, but it was hilarious. Yeah, just get a loan, stay out of the country for 7 years and come back. Thank you, Vets Vlogs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, relationships could definitely be hard. He's been through ups and downs. I think we all have, but he's been through a lot. Now he's got himself a beautiful woman, and he's been really happy. She went through like her own trial. She had surgery, and they've been together through all of that, and it's really great. Okay, somebody new. Good morning. I mentioned this at the beginning of the live. I cut my hair because it was falling out. So I have congestive heart failure, being you're new, and I have lupus, an autoimmune issue. I have pulmonary breathing issues. And with the congestive heart failure and coronary artery disease, I've got a cardiac output of about 2.5, and the list just goes on. It just means that there's little to no flow going through my body. And my skin, when you have this, and you guys can research this yourself, your skin dries out, breaks out, can cause, like right now, because of that old cat bite, my leg now has a hole in it, circulation issues, and my hair was falling out in large clumps, and it was just looking ridiculous. So it's why I cut my hair. So my hair was falling out. I do have skin cancer, but it is not a cancer within me where I've had chemo or anything. It's cut because it was falling out. And it is easier to care for right now. So, beings, I only have the ability to still bathe myself and walk 20, 30 feet at a time or less. Then it's a bonus that I don't have to sit up for an hour after a shower in the evenings. So, I don't have to sit up and wait for my hair to dry, but it was falling out in big clumps. That's why you guys have noticed it was here. And then recently you've seen where it was there. And it just kept coming out. Every time I brushed my hair, it was large clumps. So it was just too much, the circulation issue. So, but good morning. And I'm very sorry to hear what is happening with you. Good morning. Thank you. As I had mentioned in the beginning, I'm asking all people to reach out to Senator Raffy Tulfo show, go in on his YouTube, his social media pages, and you can just request his email. It'll come up if you just Google it. We have officially a day or two ago requested something I did not want to do. I It's already a 3-ring circus, so I might as well make it a 4-ring circus. It's going to bring all the Filipinos in on it, people to gawk, stare, but I'm not. I don't want to sit here and lose my leg also. So I don't want to sit here and die of an infection or end up dying in my sleep. I'm ready. I've told you guys this. When it's my time, it's my time. If I was alone, I have 2 adult children that are freaked out right now, and we have multi grandchildren. And George will be like a walking ghost if something happens. He's lost his dad and his grandmother. I think it's been about a year. And so the senator 100% has the ability. One show will definitely make enough money for the funds, and that minimally we think that he can do the promissory part. He can tell we're going to have it done at Medical Center Clark. We don't mind paying a couple hundred a month to the hospital. That'd be about all we could afford, is to pay, 15, 20,000 or something. We would be able to pay something. That'd be 400. That might be too much with the current medication. But the whole point is we can pay something. But to get a loan, we don't have any collateral. And the payback on something like that would be more like $2,000 a month. We've already checked into it. It's just impossible. They put a ridiculous amount of interest. And I get you like, oh, well, it's worth it. No, don't want to borrow 2 million and 7 or 8 million. It really is heavy interest in the Philippines. So we figure one of these things can be done. We have reached out to the embassy. Initially, they talked with us. The new rep there has talked with us. Unfortunately, there's nothing. We figured they could do the same. We figured they could contact Clark and say, hey, or see about taking her insurance that's back in America based on the Medicare, but they can't and they won't. And so that was it. So ticket is all he could offer. So he couldn't refer to any other fundings or nothing. And so what it is we came into the country with X amount of money. It was at least 60, and we had bought tickets, came during the pandemic, and didn't think I'd run into this serious of a medical condition, thought I could fly back. And that is most guys that are coming. And the ones with insurance, you need to double check. You're being told that they will cover you. It's not true. Even with the biggest insurances, you got to pay all that up front. So you're still going to pay, if you end up like me, 40,000 up front, and while you're waiting to get it back. And a lot of you guys don't have 40,000. So I'm hoping the senator can help and that he hears. And the more people that contact him, the better chance I've got. Because a lot of you are like, what can I do? We don't have. A lot of people have, but I know people are busted. I know people are, and I don't expect the people to rescue me. It's been beyond a blessing. Everything that you guys have done has made a big difference. It really is. At least if something happens, I have the money for burial. Burial, I'm to be cremated. The last month or so, when we know it's totally bad and I can't even get out of bed, we can hire a nurse in full time. At least we're able to pay where the medicine was 150 a month. Now it's 300-400. We can afford this. And so the money is making the difference. So, we got the hospital bed, the oxygen machine went out. I was able to replace that. It's been paying for appointments. Blood work is $300 a pop, depending on which place. So it's made a difference. So, but this is now too big. When I seen the hole coming in my leg, I said, that's it, George. I said, we got to do something. So more than likely, if nothing's done, it's possible within 6 months alone, I could just end up with sepsis and die of poisoning. And the people know that. The medical people know this. So are you saying goodbye to the other person or to us? You probably could be gone, but see if Laura's still in there. Oh, I timed out here. She has a 1 subscriber account and seems weird. Yeah, if the person is, don't time her out, guys. I would I would wait to see if she made additional comments. And here's the thing, you might have already blocked her. I'm going to have to, I can't see that you blocked her, but it'll get rid of her in front of all the other people. But yeah, they come in slow playing. It's a brand new account. They're usually 2, 3, 4 months old or under a year, and they come in slow playing. So if you time her out, she'll just come back in 20 minutes and make another comment, but worse. But could just be somebody doing basic, asking, "Hey, Sperlin, what's going on?" Wow, a U.S. Air Force veteran in here. That's big time. Love me a military guy. Hey, what's going on? Vlogging Live said, "Thank you, vets, for your service." And thank you and bless all the ones that have served and died for our country. It's, I'm just overwhelmed with what's going on in America, that they've even put hold on hospice programs, and all the benefits are being taken from the disabled, and all these extra programs are like, oh, they're all freeloaders, they don't need it. Well, if that's your thinking, then you're in a different level. So this, it's horrible, and they're taking more and more veteran benefits away. They're giving trillions away to all these other countries in war, and billions and trillions, and but yet they won't give more money to the disabled vets and ones that have served, or the people that are that are disabled. And I see the ones that are scamming the system. They need to be out. Ones that have been on it for 10, 15 years that won't go get a job, and they're under 40. But all the rest, to take food stamps and try to make somebody that's over 60 go work for $50, for $50 worth of food, it's just getting ridiculous. The money is being pocketed by the current government, and that's what disgusts me. And if it's just crazy. So all of it comes around to me, that what they're doing to the vets and the homeless, and there's a lot going on, guys. Yeah, there was the hail. Yeah. Thank you, Rob, for your service. 100% service connected, disabled vet here, Gulf War. Bless you, man. My father was in Air Force for 25 years and retired. That's why I said that. My dad and my uncle and a lot of my aunts and uncles served. And my sister was in the Army. My brother is a Marine, or was a Marine. I guess once you are, you can't say was, you still are. I should correct that. You still are. And so I have a high respect for the military. Oh, snap. Joseph said he had flooding under his door at the apartment. The wind so strong, couldn't open the door. Oh, yeah, it was pretty bad that day. I thought we would lose power for a long period of time, but we didn't. We traveled all over Asia, which helped me make the decision to live here. I tell you what, I still, even knowing I can lose my leg or die any day, I still don't regret coming here. I don't regret it one moment, because I was telling my daughter yesterday that, I don't have to worry about my electric bill. I don't have to worry about my rent on me being on disability, and George able to help me every day. I don't have to worry. I mean, yeah, you'd be like, oh, well, you got to worry about dying. Well, let me tell you what, I've been here almost 6 years and not had to worry about any of those bills. I have the hospital bed. I have AC in here. I have way more than the average Filipino. And that's why I felt really weird going to Raffy, is I can afford the basics. I just can't make it home, and I can't afford this big situation. There's no way to save for this. And I'm sure that's the criticism I'll get on the show. Oh, look, she's a big American and she can afford it. Now she's asking for help. I mean, these comments are going to come all day long right now. But I have no choice. Now I'm just curious if he'll do it or turn us away. And that's more my curiousness. And so it's more of the, hey, is he going to? But we had to break down and finally ask. That looks like a poorly built structure, probably lots of shortcuts. Yeah, that's what it looked like, one big rubble for it happening. And that happened after the storm was I checked the footage. The storm came before 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So the fact it didn't fall till 3 a.m. and that tornado was showing at dusk, yeah, it came way after the fact. Oh, probably. That's a good chance. We live in an area where catastrophic events happen on a regular basis, but building falling and those fires, that is scary. I worry about that. We have a couple of I call them fire engine hoses. We've got the things to put out fires, and it is scary. That's what I worry about, is like when those kids were setting fires across the street. George said, yeah, just leave them alone. I said, what do you mean leave them alone? Why aren't any other Filipinos out there screeching? Because once that whole thing's on fire, it's just going to, there were houses on each side of that lot. I'm like, okay, just let those kids do what they want, situation. But yeah, I worry that someone's going to burn something down, or, yeah, the building's falling. So we were stationed in Wake Island, Japan, and Guam. Wow. No, they don't. I'm trying to think of who would apply, but there's a lot of people that apply for they come in on the 90-day fiancés, or they come in on other things. They all apply when they're inside the country. As a matter of fact, most of them do. So now they're advising they got to go back home and wait if that's what they're doing. They're just making it harder and harder. So, hey, good morning, Harry. What is going on? Thank you so much. Country Road says, Mayasawa and I pray for you both and usually watch archive. We'll text. Thank you. Yeah. Short of us taking a ride to his studio, I mean, if I see my legs like in gangrene status, I may have to. I think a van currently is between 6,000 pesos to nine. Like somebody quoted us 9,000 to go over to the Manila area. So that would be round trip, up to $200 to take the trip. But I hope that's not what I have to do. I'm hoping, as they've done, I've seen him send his people to people's houses. I would think with me being pretty much bedridden, that's what he would do. But if we have to appear, I have to. I mean, it's going to be rough, because even from here in traffic, it could be an hour and a half to 2 hours in traffic one way. And with my legs this bad and the circulation, it would just be really rough. No, you had to make me look to see if the live was still on. He said, did live in. No, it's still here. We're still live. Hey, good morning. Brian is in the house, Philly in the Philippine. Hey, Brian. Yeah, I don't know how much you caught of that. We're already contacting Raffy, because my leg has a hole in it. So the circulation, my heart's increasingly getting worse, and my leg will absolutely not heal. There is no healing at this point without the stents. So now I'm either waiting for gangrene and sepsis, or a blood clot, or to just die in my sleep, or drop like a real ton of bricks because I'm big, to just drop. So we have to, and now we're asking the people to reach out. But Brian's in the house. Good morning, and hello to the family. On my second cup of coffee, huh? No, nobody's going to control the language. I'm the one fucking dying here. I'm the one here doing this live stream. And I've seen big celebrities, little celebrities, and different channels cuss. I'm going to cuss. So don't watch it. I'm sure if the moderators will check this person, brand new, I'm sure, block them. So, yeah, Laura, don't time them out. Just get rid of them. Anybody that comes in and says control your language, then they don't know our channel. And yeah, so they're just coming in to disturb the live. Block them. So yeah, if you time them out, they'll just come back in a little bit, or you're just wasting time. Just don't worry. It doesn't mean we lose a view. It just means they're not allowed to comment. it doesn't get rid of them. They can still watch, it still pays. It just means they're not allowed to leave a stupid comment, because that's what that is. What the hell you talking about? I'm sitting here in a pain level of a 12 and you want to tell me not to cuss, and especially with the whole way the whole world is and my life is going. Yeah, no, I'm going to speak my mind. I do it to George all day long. I mean, I'll look him right in the eye and say, I'm going to drop dead right here. Oh, don't say that. It's like, yeah, I'm going to say it. So it's just the way my day goes. And I have been nice. There were other comments from trolls and other people saying that I should be nicer at this point. It's like, nice for what? I have been. I've actually toned it down since January. Might be cussing a little bit more and a little bit more forward, but I haven't covered some topics that I wanted to cover. We've just been sticking around to what's going on. But I appreciate the moderators in here. Do you need a phone number for an account? I was trying to. Yes, if I've had a few people recently message and say they wanted to leave messages, but they couldn't do it. So it sounds like George is back from the coconut vendor already. Hey, we might be able to get him to sit here. Coming in the last 20 minutes of the live. You came early. I didn't think you'd make it here.
Oh.
I just got back from the coconut. Yeah, he gets the coconut water and out on his daily running. Yeah, hey, look, Pigsy is there. But no, you do need it. Now, somehow people get like burner phones and burner cards. How is it that they make like 100 accounts or something? There's got to be a way without buying 100 SIM cards, or do they buy 100 SIM cards? You're allowed 3 or 4 accounts per Google account, right? Well, eventually they catch up other ways.
You can get an app.
Well, yeah, that's another way. Like you said, you get an app and you can create a ton of them. So that's new to me. So I don't know everything. So yeah, but basically, yes, you do. If you're doing it the legal way and the right way, that's how it is.
The driver uses one of those apps.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like these guys here. It's right there. Oh, wait a minute. Is he sitting on it? It was right there somewhere. I just had it. He's looking for right there. But I don't know, right here. Right there. Oh. But I don't know where
That's right.
Yeah, just don't mess too much with the wire. By the way, is the audio still? I didn't even check with you guys to see if the audio is still in here. Say hi, George. Huh?
It's okay.
Yeah, I hooked it. Yeah, because I figured you'd have time. I didn't know whether. Yeah, you're gonna have to kick her out of the way.
She's all right.
I say good morning.
Morning. What was that thing what is it? Yeah. No, there's a. No, there. I heard this local, and the way they greeted it, it's unusual, but I think it's the real greeting. You know how languages change over time, but
like instead of using the magana, they use
masanting awak is good morning, but no,
like old school, like your mom and grandmother would have said.
I don't remember it because it's they're old words, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's kind of like us saying, "What's up? Good morning," right? And it'd be like somebody back, "Good afternoon," or something. Like, good afternoon.
Right? No, it was different. I was like, what?
So to catch you up, we've been talking about our only hope is Senator Raffy at this point, and that we've asked people to reach out. We have to. With the hole in my leg, it will not heal without the stent. So we're talking either sepsis, blood poisoning, which is the same thing, major infection. It's not going to heal without circulation. And my arteries are all clogged up now, either due to lupus, either due to me eating, or all the above, or the APS, which is another autoimmune blood issue of thickening blood. But I was going through that. We have no choice. And I would hope he could do something, considering he covers sick expats. He covered Empanada Tatai, paid his medical, set him up a store, paid his back 2-3 years immigration. But he's done it, but cover male expats. This is like a diamond. if he could get us on there, I didn't want to become another, turn the 3-ring circus into a 4-ring circus. I don't want to be in front of more people. This is just small fries, what we're covering now. But you go on Raffy, the world's going to know. But he does have the ability. We have more moderators now. I said bounce anybody.
I see Laura. Yeah.
We have to
Hey, Laura.
because we've had 3 or 4 accounts come in today, and I said, yeah, they've been trying to put them in timeout. I said, no, just block them. They are still watching. It still pays. It doesn't hurt us. We just don't. They don't get to shine in the channel. It's for us to do. Few questions about my hair. It was falling out in clumps, so I'm not going to leave it looking like that. And I wore wigs anyways, but it's so that's what we've been covering. Hey, what's going on, sweet Joseph? Robert says, I heard Philippine Antics really hurts people's feelings because they tell the truth. Yeah, I'm scared to go there. Second one. Yeah. No, they talk about, oh, they block over no matter what because it is the truth. Well, they're gaslighting. It has nothing to do with that. You're not coming in and calling George a bum. You're not coming in and calling me, fat or other names. It's not that it really hurts. It's just not your platform to do it. This isn't a democracy. This isn't where you just get to do what you want. You don't get to come in here, and most of the vloggers create accounts to mention their accounts. So you're not going to come in and mention the 4 channels that are doing stupid content on us. And so they will have somebody, how brazen one of them is. He actually comes in and tells you, I did a video on you. And it's like, dude, it's like, so, I told George that I would read some of the comments, and then I stopped on those recent vloggers that covered us on their live streams. I just stopped reading them because it's the same people. The vloggers should know that they're the same people. They're mentioning the same thing. And it's not because it's going on. It's the guy telling the same story that I knew celebrities and she's faking her jobs. And it's just ridiculous stuff, but yet they're on there. So like George said, we stopped reading them days ago, and we're not going to do it anymore because we're not going to cover it. We're not going to, it's just, it's the same shit, different day scenario. I mean, I'm actively dying here. So it's like we're going to say what we want on here. This isn't a platform for you.
No, I'm kind of mesmerized by the pseudo Jacob's ladder over here. Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. You see it? Looks like Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway,
Yeah, I know what Jacob's ladder is. 998, Laura. Moderators in the house. All right. Yeah, so you're coming in on the tail end. Anything you want to add? I've been talking about the Angeles City thing. I showed our storm.
no, it was bad. It was like it was. I took a picture I sent a picture to Heidi when I was out that day, and it was flooded. And
Yes, fire extinguishers. Yes.
like in MacArthur, I didn't get to take a picture because I was driving. I mean, obviously, like one there's what do you call that? I guess in the U.S. they call them canopy roads. Um, Parts of MacArthur Highway is a canopy road, and one of the big branches fell on a car, and It just happened.
You're talking about the trees?
Yeah.
Okay, when
Yeah.
you say canopy, that could actually, they do have where they have canopies and markets on the
No,
side
no,
of
no.
the
I know.
street.
No, it was
Canopy trees.
well. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a parts of MacArthur Highway are canopy roads, and one of the big branches fell on a car. It was it wasn't on my traffic. It was an opposing traffic. But like I said, I didn't get to take a picture of it because obviously I'm driving, so that's not exactly safe.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful.
So
Victoria's in the house. Good morning, Heidi and George, chat crew from the cool, almost winter Perth, West Australia. Kind of wish we had that right now, except for I'd probably freeze really easy. So, all right, so no static because I hooked that up. So, All right. So we'll hold on to this person if you guys haven't already blocked him. You mentioned this the last time.
He's
I
gone.
remember you. Okay, I'm going to bring it up anyways. This one I will address. You asked the last time, and I'm going to address you. And if you have any medical brain or you know how to AI something, please do. So let me educate you. You keep saying you need stents, but why? Okay, where do you think this hole came from in my leg? Okay, and why? You haven't even gotten an angiogram. All right, first off, an angiogram would practically wipe out the funds I have. It's 90,000 pesos. Being you haven't watched the beginning or the other ones I've discussed this recently, an angiogram still requires a level of health. If you can't lay flat on the table, you can't get an angiogram and you can't get stents. I've told you guys for months I cannot lay flat. My body is so full of fluid and my body is 4 times more inflamed than the average person's body. Not big, inflamed. It means everything is inflamed inside. I can't lay flat. I can't get stents. It will require an extensive hospital stay. And now, with the poor circulation in my leg, PAD, there is a hole that I can almost put my thumb in right now. That is not going to heal without stents. I get that I can't have stents without the angiogram. I will see that specialist on the 3rd. But until we get the finances to enter the hospital, can't do it. Can't have the angiogram under any circumstance. So evidently you didn't listen this time or the last time. And evidently I have to talk to you like a kid because more than likely you're one of those vloggers and more than likely you're a troll. Well, actually, I know you are because you've asked the same thing twice and I've addressed it. Means you put it in here and you ran and wasn't listening. So in case you're rewatching it, it's crap. Why? What do you mean, why? Okay, so first off, it's not a cheap test. And when you do it, yes, there's a leeway to have the stents put in, and they can still place the stents afterwards, but it's an all in one thing because they may have to do it again. If I can't find the finances and the senator doesn't help for 6 months, which is a possibility, then it's going to have to be done again. So then that's just at least, and I was just quoted 93,000 pesos exactly from Medical Center Clark. We just had them on the line. And that is where I'm going on the 3rd. So that's just that. I can't lay flat. I feel like I'm drowning. I have too much fluid in my body because my heart is not pumping enough blood. What the fuck are you idiots even thinking? These other channels know this. Mike, our Philippine Journey, knows this. He acted like he didn't know anything the other day, and I'm just going to call that out. The tests are real. There's no reason. I mean, where am I faking a hole in my leg? What would cause that? Poor circulation. Not because I'm big, not because I'm not moving. That itself, even a person in a wheelchair wouldn't be seeing that type of circulation issue. I have no blood flowing through my body. My cardiac output is shit. I'm at a stroke level, and the fact that I'm even alive right now is speaking volumes. It's just all in a miracle. So no, can't. Has nothing to do with we have the money to do the angiogram. I can't, and I've been telling you that. But you bird brains are coming up with just content. I won't go get it because she's scamming. No, you fucking go lay on that table, motherfuckers. Anything to add to that?
Well, also another thing again. I repeat myself a lot, although a lot of people don't believe that I care whether you believe it or not. Because honestly, it doesn't affect me. Here's the thing, and when you Google shit, and a lot of people don't realize this. AI and Google, AI is based off the search engine of Google, and AI is diluted anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't believe.
Right.
I never believe AI. Um, but the key word is search engine, and what I'm getting at is a search engine. All it does is searches and pulls out information. And the reason why I'm saying
And
this
you can
is
manipulate it. So, in other words, if I asked it right now, can a person with congestive heart failure with this, and that have an angiogram? Well, absolutely they
Well,
can.
okay.
It will answer shit like that
That's a perfect example. That's a
because
perfect
you can manipulate
right.
it to say what you want to hear.
Or not necessarily Heidi, not necessarily Heidi. Or you guys. Or for a good example is what I mean is if there's enough false information on the internet, Google and AI will read it as true. And that's the issue because it will search all these false information and then eventually it'll come up, okay, if
Right.
then I guess it must be true. What I'm getting at is a lot of people Google how much medical procedures here in the Philippines specifically,
Yeah, and
not
I
necessarily
think,
in the
yeah,
U.S.
they're trying to say it's 50 to 60,000. We know that's
Uh,
not true.
right? No, that's another thing. If you go to a doctor or something like that, you have to ask them. This is how bad it is here in the Philippines, and I'm talking about the communication wise or in the internet wise too. Doctors, for example, when you talk to a doctor and ask for a procedure, you ask them how much does it cost for said amount procedure out the door, not well how much are stents.
Yeah,
Don't
because those are,
never ask that kind of question. How much is a heart replacement? Never ask that question. Ask how much is the entire procedure me out the door
and
complete.
my case isn't like our Philippine journey. It cost him 1 million or 20,000. And that was 6 months ago, almost a year ago. So it's been a whole year. And since the war, everything's going up. Everything has gone up in the Philippines the past year, big time. So the prices have gone up. Then you add in, I am with a lupus specialist. I'm currently under breathing issues because of everything. And the APS, the thickening blood, there's going to be specialists there. They have to be there for standby. So we've got to pay them. They know, all of the doctors know, if I don't enter the hospital first or ready for the angiogram and the stents, it's never going to happen. That could be upwards to 100, 200, 300,000 to sit in the hospital. We don't know. It could be 7 to 10 days to 7 weeks. People have been in there for months at a time trying to get this stuff down. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not looking forward to any of this. I really am not. I want to breathe again. I don't want to lose my leg. So I sat here and shrugged my shoulder yesterday, and George was like, "That's bad." I said, "Yeah, I have no circulation. I knew this was coming." And I said, "Lose my leg, drop dead of a heart attack." It's like, we just got to wait. It's like a race right now. But I know, my husband knows, our family knows, our doctors know. People coming in with these questions aren't questioning because I'm a scammer. You're just coming in to start shit. You don't know anything, and let's say you did an AI and come up with, and you're just watching things or assuming. It's exactly what you guys are assuming is that, oh, she didn't even pay for the first test. She's a liar. No, my current tests are enough. Blood work, okay, and the ultrasound, the echocardiogram, I call it ultrasound. That's proof enough of how bad it is, showing my heart effaction, and we know what's wrong, okay, but can't proceed without help. So much so now we have to ask the senator. And it's a shame and a shambles that it's down to a few dozen going around and spilling out the same stuff. Oh, she won't go get it. We scammed for a whole $5,000 in the last 5 months, which it's most of it is still in the bank. That's the big scam of the century. Yes, I'm going to sit here and lose my leg because I just don't want to go back to America. And because I just don't want to take the trip, or that I'm scamming people so she can't go back. It's like, really? I didn't want to show my leg today, but it also proves the trolls wrong. It also proves other people wrong. It also shows that I'm getting sicker.
And
I now know
Heidi
the
doesn't have
senator.
diabetes, just to clarify.
Yeah, the senator will be watching from here out. His people will start to watch. So I was debating to put on a wig today, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to keep hiding it. My hair was falling out in clumps. I'm not, we're not talking about like I went like this and it fell out because I'm getting chemo. No, brush the hair, full of it. Brush it again later, it was. When I brushed through my hair, it felt like pins, needles, and glass in my hair. Everything hurts. Every inch of my body feels like pins and needles, guys. Everything hurts right now. Hurts to sit down, hurts to stand, hurts to roll over. You guys have no idea. And like I said, it's affecting George. When he goes silent, or we've been tense or fighting, or I'm always talking about, yeah, I'm not going to shut up about dying. So it's been really tense. So we had to tell the senator, lost my mother, or lost my grandmother, or lost my dad in the past year. Don't want to lose my wife. And, to be honest, I would think it would be a real disservice if he never even covered me. Why? Because he covers everybody else that's a male expat. You know how that would make me feel if he, and I know this might even get me X'd here and canceled. Hashtag cancel Heidi. Because it would be pretty shitty if he covered all these other male expats. There's a big double standard here. All these other channels that are talking shit about me, and I'll say all of them, all the ones that are trollish accounts, they do exactly the same thing and talk the same shit. And now you're saying that I don't deserve help, or that I am scamming, or how can you this? It's just still amazing. That's all. I really feel there's double standards for the male expats here. And just because I would mention the other, female Filipino vloggers, no, you guys are kind of missing the point. I never expected for, the money to come through to everybody, that we were just going to gather 20, 30, 40, 50,000 for this. I knew I was just buying time, medication, nursings, staff to come in. I knew this is what the money was amounting to. But now, a little scary, being my leg feels like somebody's digging a knife in it right now. It is all open nerves right now. It's just exposed nerves, like a tooth. And yeah, it just added another level of issues. So you can read from the bottom. I can't see what's going on. Hashtag cancel George again. Hashtag cancel Heidi.
Right.
So I have thin skin. I couldn't do a YouTube channel. We thought about it, and we did initially block people for just calling me fat. And then I'm like, shit, I've been called that my entire life, and I haven't been. This hasn't been me. It's been a difference of, let me see if I can. I don't know. We didn't find out. Trying to see if I don't know if this will come up or not. Okay, so you can do that. We can just bring up an image without the video.
Okay, now it's loaded.
Okay, so can you actually?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's a real flattering photo. But yeah, this was me right before I entered the country. My face and body did stay small. I mean, I've always had a weight issue. What American or person these days aren't somewhat overweight, but that's a big change. And a lot of that is due to the steroids. A lot of that is due to being sedentary because of lupus. And then my organs are failing. So I'm extremely bloating. So it's, it's a big difference. So, yeah, I mean, I get it on the trolls and no, we did initially. George has always stayed strong, and then but now I think just putting it out there also for those, because some people do go over to the channels afterwards, or they see it because they tag us, and then they're in the feed all the time. Okay, but they know that it's not right, so. Heidi, I stuck it in my ring. Oh, you suck. Oh, it'll take a little bit of time. Yeah, just block them. We won't like point you out. You're new to it. You'll realize that timing them won't mean nothing. And blocking them, they'll just probably go create another account too, but it'll slow them down. But they're the same people. It usually is. George is smiling. Who's your cat? What's good? George and his damn cat here. That's his personal cat. Like, she hangs on him like all day, like ridiculous. You've seen her in videos up on his shoulder. He lets her do that. She climbs up his back when he's doing dishes.
Actually, she was up here for a second.
Yeah, that's what she does. But she sleeps all day and hides all day until he gets up or comes in from his run around. We had to use wound vacs for wounds like Heidi's describing. Get real, she's being well. And here's the thing: I was telling people earlier that with the spider bite, when you do have something like this, you usually will pack it with an iodine gauze, and they do sell it here. It'd be no problem. Or bringing in somebody to do this on a daily basis will probably cost about 1,000 pesos. Depends. You can hire all kinds of people that's got licensing here. The problem is one, I can do it myself. I'm 100% sure of that, but you can't do it. It's due to the circulation issue. It will cause damage quicker. So just from the nerves and the tissue against it, you just can't do this stuff. And I can't do anything. No Neosporin, nothing in the hole. We thought using medical grade honey would help. Nope, can't do that. That's going to eat up the tissue too.
Even that?
Yes. After paying that for that tube, it was 1,200 pesos for a tiny tube. We cannot use it. I thought it's something. I used it in the spider bite, and like I said, I have some medical training, and it would have been common. You can use it on ulcers and that. Everything changes when it comes to coronary artery disease. When the nerves are the way that it is, and the cells and the circulation is, there's no oxygen going to it. You can't do it. It's kind of like, I think it's like putting oil on a fire. Kind of the best way. All I can do is clean it with regular saline and just bandage it and wait for it to heal. But without stents, it will never heal. And then when I do get stents, it could take months and I could still lose my leg. So the battle will continue. Not dramatic, just truce. Yeah, AL will answer you with a different answer. Yeah, for the same question. Yeah, 3 different times in a row. Yeah. And if you're influencing it, like you say something like you can just influence it by asking questions or answering with things like the saline water, and you can ask it 3 times and later it'll say, no, don't use it. So it's like, whoa. So it will change up on you eventually.
You can lead AI. You know, what I'm saying is, you know how you can ask leading questions? If you lead with leading questions with AI, it will tend to answer the way you're leading it to. So yes, you can influence it without influencing it.
The doc thought I needed a stent. Angiogram ruled it out. My purse circulation was poor ejection fraction. Okay, well, here's the thing. So then something's a little off on that, because usually they do not do an angiogram first. They do an echo first. So you're saying they did an angiogram, ruled out poor ejection fraction, which was diagnosed by the echo. Echocardiograms are done first in 99.9%, unless you come in an emergency and then they do the angiogram while you're in the emergency room or whatever. But echoes are done, that can determine that. Now, you can get a better look with an angiogram, but they would usually start with that. Did you end up in an emergency room?
No, it's right. The echocardiogram was first and then the angiogram.
Doc thought I needed.
It's just the way he said it.
Angiogram ruled out my poor circulation, was poor ejection fraction. Oh, diagnosed. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's just the way
said,
he.
okay.
Yes, I know.
George just made me.
It looks like.
Yeah, like he got it afterwards. So
yeah.
Okay, so because the echo came first. Yes, it will show it. In the end. Okay, so now I see what you mean. So let me apologize on that one, but it looked like you were saying you did one over the other and then got it later from that. I was like, when would they do that? But again, I'm not, just because I'm saying these things doesn't mean that but I do know that you're not going to get one done if you're extremely sick. So, and I'm still trying to find a way that they can actually just do it. Like I told Georgia, so let's just see if he'll do it. That's the point that I'm at. But then I'm like, that would take the rest of the money in the bank account almost. And then what? I can't have, I mean, we can't get the stints anytime soon. And then we would just be out of money. It would just be at the point where it's just, I don't know. It would just seem so out of place. And then be, oh, she just don't want to do it. No, I'm still thinking about that. But I know we won't. But we'll get that all. We're going to get that all as much in writing, footage, and everything coming up on the 3rd because I'm not leaving without this time. I've been trying to get the current doctor to put more and more into place, but like he said the last time, he just stared at me. He says, if you're not going to go to the hospital first, bring down the inflammation and swelling and fluid, and then get the echo, there's nothing I can do. And he's right. He ain't wrong about that. He's not the specialist that does it. Now I'm going to the specialist to say, hey, hell, I could be wrong. He may say, "Hey, we're going to knock your ass, hog tie you on the table, and do it anyways." I mean, maybe he's got some secret, royal jelly honey that he put in my nose, nostril, and throat, and he's just going to do it anyway. Situation. I don't know. I can't say that they couldn't knock me out with something additional, or he may not say, "Hey, we got these new injections," because, like you said, there are things that break apart the clots. I don't think that that's where we're going to be, but I don't even know if they even have those here. But the whole point is we're like backpedaling now with the hole in my leg. Here, you want to put your finger in the hole?
No.
Here, let me.
Besides, that's not healthy anyway. You don't know where my finger's been.
Who said that hole? I was talking about the other one.
Just like that, Heidi got herpes.
Ugh. From your lips to God's mouth. You just say the sweetest things, don't you, there, armpit boy? My arm got a hole, and I swear I didn't know they could pack that much crap in a hole. Oh my God. Yeah, they can. They really can. Yeah, let me run that one more time. I don't know. Looks like I'm gonna, yeah, because George wasn't here. We'll run that one more time. So dun 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 dun. Okay, so this is the night that it happened for those that just came in. Yeah, you can still see this stuff. Is that rain or debris dust? Looks like a little bit of both.
Probably both.
Probably reminds you of during the Pinatubo. That's what it looked like. You haven't seen footage lately. It was ashy like that. They built that like a brick house, man. I'm surprised that came down.
Putang ina, grabe. Wasak, man.
What did he say?
Oh, it's really bad. Well,
Robin.
wasak means destroyed. It's destroyed.
Okay, so 3-4. Here's my deal. That issue of the hail, the wind, the lightning, and the tornado that you'll see at the end of this in a photo. It's not AI. First off, I didn't know there were tornadoes here. They say they do rarely happen. It was in the area at the time, but this didn't go down till 3:45 in the morning. And why was there 24 construction workers inside the building? Were they living there?
Oh, well,
My
it's
imagination.
okay. For those wondering, it's normal for construction workers to live in the construction sites. For example, so don't flip out if you guys hire construction workers to build your house and they're sleeping and eating and living there.
Old
That's
dog, same
normal.
thing.
Okay.
And most of them will build a small cottage for themselves. They give them an
Right.
extra.
They will live in that location
Yeah,
because
they'll give them another extra
most construction
100,000 to
workers
build something.
don't live in that area. They like most of the time. For example, here in Angel City, they're usually from Cebu, those areas, or Samar is very common. Also, where common place where they're from is Nueva Ecija. If you live in Angel City, no, most of these construction workers aren't from here.
Yeah, so it says here that 24 of them escaped. Again, these numbers on all different platforms are giving different numbers. So I did say earlier when I played this at the second hour that it was a 9-story building, give or take 23 or 24 are missing. And at 3:45 in the morning, it came down. So yeah.
Wasak. Gumuho ngayon lang. Ito,
Yeah, it says it
gumuho.
collapsed.
Sir, anong
What
oras
time
na
did it
gumuho?
collapse?
Ma'am, anong oras gumuho?
Around 3 siguro.
They said 3.
Free will. There was
Ano kasi? Walang yung mga kasama mo sa ano? Yung mga kasama. Yan o, gumuho.
Okay, here's some of the storm. At the end of this, you'll see out front of our house. The lightning was loud. It really was lightning. I'm probably one of the maybe not the typhoons here, but the loudest. It just came up out of nowhere, guys.
Bro, nandiyan daw oh. Bro, sa may aircon daw na yan, oh, yung aircon
Robert,
na yan.
you're not
Beside
blocked.
door.
We can see you there.
No, not there. Beside. Left hands, left hands. Left hands.
Let's do that real.
Left hands door. Where?
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking it's a
Left-
fake
left
Chinese
side
rebar.
door.
Yeah, because
The other
how
side. Yes, there.
No. That's-
second floor.
That's probably again my
Meron, sir.
suspicion is fake
Sir,
Chinese
saan ang pasok
rebar.
dito? Okay, sige.
That's just it. These shortcuts scare me.
Prepare tayo ng isang ambulance.
Bad construction and fire scare me more than even my medical records.
Kaya daw dapat nandito rin yung ambulance natin, no?
Oh, I was.
Ito, susubukan po nilang i-rescue. Ayan, ang nagiba, no?
Oh no,
What's he going on about?
they said they're sending in the rescue workers.
Yeah, I was
Bago.
saying earlier there.
Ah,
Oh man, my
ah,
truck.
kung natin ko ba rito ay
Sweet
sa
ride.
GBA ang 7 Central Hurt.
Tell him to make some noise.
Your sweet ride.
Tell him to make some noise.
Oh yeah,
Shout,
because
shout, or bang something. Find you. Something.
Yeah.
no people are.
You hit something.
Jesus Christ. All right, so here's a drone shot. I was able to acquire this. Again, you guys can check out Chubb's Dub C. He covered this really well. He was walking down there yesterday. I'm surprised more people didn't, but he did. He did really well at that. We like Chubb's Dub C. We've met with him. Check his channel out. If I think about it, I'll add the link to the description. And guys, just watching our content contributes. All the money is, all the support for the channel and watching is going to
Well,
help me stay alive to bust George's chops
now
later.
I understand the tornado thing again. That it is a viable excuse or reason. I say excuse because what I'm getting at is a building of that size
It's
is
huge.
technically supposed to withstand a tornado. I mean, I get it'll rip off
Yeah, like I can
it'll
see
rip
if our
off
building-
windows, it'll rip off roofs, it'll
that
rip
whole
off
thing went down like
but
a-
not collapse a
like
building
matches.
of that type. Correct. Yes.
I mean, speaking of sweet ride, there's both of our sweet rides. Yeah, you'll be able to see the lightning.
Oh, that's the E-track activating.
Yeah, and then you'll hear the lightning, but it was way louder than
the
that.
E-track the E-track has an alarm system, but it's off. But even if it's off, the lights still turn on.
Willie wasn't in his doghouse; they were under the trike. Look at that! Dun dun dun. So yeah, so there you guys go. So yeah, it was pretty. Did you see your chicken out there? Not looking good. You might want to.
No,
eat
she's
her
okay.
before-
She's fine.
Why'd she try to bite me yesterday?
She's got an egg.
She has the ability to still have other eggs? I think so.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so she's sitting on one and one rolled out?
Yeah.
Did you
Probably
see?
did. Yeah.
Yeah, she tried
No,
to.
she's defending her eggs. No.
You try to
Yeah.
get it later. Maybe
Now
she
the
won't.
Chinese rebar. Now here's the thing. You can build one-story structures without fake Chinese rebar. It's not strong enough. I mean, 2 stories. I wouldn't recommend it for a 1-story, but a 1-story would. The reason why I say that is because for a 1-story, you actually need like a 1/4 inch of rebar. A Chinese rebar is a good like 1.5 inches. I mean, I know it's fake, but it's still somewhat probably of equal, if not stronger, than the 1/4 inch rebar. So for one story, it's okay, but not a freaking building. I mean, no, I'm just explaining the Chinese rebar thing.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people aren't aware of what that is.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
what do they call that? Was it Days of Our Lives? As the sand slips through the hourglass and George's lips move as slick as the lips that move on walking street, we will time his conversation. Because Heidi has special issues and ain't got no time for this shit. So you're on a timer. Days of Our Lives. Anything else?
All right. This is actually, let me answer this only because it's somewhat relevant to what we're talking about. I'm ignorant on the subject. Do people in the Philippines have insurance on their homes and buildings? The answer is yes.
They do.
However, if you are getting insurance, you have to be very, very, very careful. And what I'm getting at is, first off, for example, well, this is common sense. If, for example, you have fire insurance on your house, if you have like gas cans anywhere, that kills your insurance, your fire insurance. But here's what I say: you have to be careful. You have to pay attention to the the insurance papers, whether it actually covers the house or not. You have to look into the documents if the actual house is listed in the insurance. I forgot the technical term. Again, I'm not insurance. Well, I was an insurance adjuster in the U.S., but not for cars, not for houses. So I wouldn't know. There's a technical term to for houses to be on insurance, and if you're not paying attention, there's a chance that your insurance does not cover the house. So just be careful, guys. Make sure you get a lawyer if you get a lawyer and
just
have them read
watch.
the
It's kind of like in
contract.
America. Some of the
I
insurances
mean,
just don't pay out, but they have
yeah,
it here and
be
everything.
careful.
Heidi, as far as the cat bite that left a hole in your leg, does the Philippines have wound care center that could look at you? Okay. So initially I did, and I didn't end up with any infection. I still treated it as such. But the deal is packing the leg. I mentioned this earlier. You can't. It's not the same. And it wasn't initially a hole. Um, I'm going to, for those, because we've been talking about it, I'll bring this one up. It was played in the second half. For those that missed the whole thing, let me put you through the graphics again. When he bit, it was more of a puncture. The problem is when it goes into the muscle, it immediately squirt out blood and fluid. A lot of that is mixed with fluid. It was bruised in fear of rabies, which I didn't end up with. There you go. Got you some rabies over there. Giving George rabies. I bit him several times after. But what it is due to the poor circulation in my leg. This was the initial graphic less than a few days ago, and now it's a hole
Bye,
already.
Laura.
So just that's just the iodine. I have a mix of iodine and saline because I want to do the basics. So the tissue is somewhat dying, but it's due to the circulation. So, beings I have coronary artery disease and PAD in my leg, which means there's no circulation, it's retaining water. There's no circulation because my cardiac output is a 2.5 and the blood is barely trickling through my body. I have an extremely weak heart. There is no circulation. So, no amount of gauze in there, no amount of cream, honey, or anything can be put on it or save it. The only thing, okay, which I know sounds dramatic, is the actual. I have to have the stents. If there is no circulation restored, okay, even though I get up and move, I am in bed most of the day. This and then it turned into this morning. So actually, yesterday, this was a photo this morning. Notice how the skin is all dry and dying. It's the same reason my hair is falling out. When the heart stops pumping the blood, all tissue starts to die. There's no oxygen. I mean, it's kind of graphic, but now officially this wound will not heal. It's kind of like the diabetic thing. At least they still have some circulation. They're allowed to do like those balloons that go around their legs for circulation. I'm not allowed to use any of that. At the stage that I'm at, it's a no on the stockings. It's a no on the. I'm too far gone to actually do any of that. So I cannot pack it. Believe me, that's the first thing I thought too. And considering the amount of money, now going to an individual clinic, the bike clinics like that and the wound clinics, you can get some of them to come. Again, probably less than $20. Um, but I can't see bringing somebody here once a day right now. Anyways, it's not going to save my leg if we don't restore the oxygen and circulation. So I can't, because I was moving perfectly fine. When we did that meet and greet a few years ago, I was still big as a shit brick house, but I got around like all get out. I mean, I was tired from the lupus, but I still had the ability to get around, go upstairs, do everything. Now it's extremely difficult to move. So I just am tired all the time. So it's a good thought and everything. So but it'll be something that'll freak him out on the third for sure because he's gonna be like, "Huh, there's one more issue, you know." So it was over there. It was in Billy Bago. They gave the specific area. If you look that up, if you look, it said the street Theodore and Theodore and yeah, if you just look up building collapse, Angeles City, it'll. Is it bringing up the news?
20.
Yeah, it says the street. It's Theodore and something, but it's not far from us, and not far from
Teodoro.
Theodoro. And what else was they mentioned the cross street? But the restaurant and place next door, of course, was affected. Yeah, there you go. Give you something good and yummy to look at. What was all the rubble before it all came down? How large was it? It was a 9-story hotel being built. That was the rubble that was up in the air. But I'm trying to, what scares me is they said X amount of construction people got out and there's still 24 people missing. Scary part is a lot of people go and stay in those buildings. They stay and sleep outside around them. It's really hard saying, correct? There was
Yeah.
probably people trying to live in there during all that. And another thing, they tend to just build housing wherever. They build their own houses on land that's not theirs. They set up temporary camping because they need somewhere to stay. And so they were in there sheltering and got caught. I had no idea. I mean, I've been here. The earthquake I didn't even think about either, and I had experienced one a few years back. Oh yeah, Grave is like saying, "My goodness, yeah, I need that rain." Yeah,
Well, grabe means it's I
it's a Mexican
it's
rebar.
grabe actually means worse, but it's used very loosely.
Yeah, I've heard it. Grave on everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
grabe
heard.
means it actually translates to worse, but like I said, it's used very loosely, so it's used on a lot of things that even doesn't apply to.
Is there a word I should be concerned with that this specialist mentions? If he's looking at my leg and everything going on, Grave wouldn't be the worst word he could say. Just forget about it.
Well, they'll probably say patay.
Finito.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Look at the size of that cookie. Can you do anything, Doc?
Right.
George, where's the measuring tape? The measuring tape's over there. Be like
Oh, right.
190 centimeters by 100 centimeters. What's this guy? He's measuring you for a coffin. Oh, tell him I don't need a coffin.
Yeah, Victoria's asking if colloidal silver will help.
Good question. Because we initially, remember, we did start
We
with
did talk
Toledo.
about that, yes.
Well, we used it. The spray is here. I sprayed it I think honestly that I had it put it on for days in a row when the bite happened. I believe as right now it's not infected. Now I just got an open wound with nerves exposed, which is hurting really bad and burning all the time. I I was on antibiotics and everything, and I was for almost up to now. Just a few days ago, I had stopped them. But I think that did initially help. It just kept me from getting like 80% of those cat bites end up majorly infected. I'm not with infection. That was just 2, 3 days ago. It was perfectly healed over and everything. And just, I told George every day, I said, I can feel there's a dent. It's about ready to collapse due to circulation. And then yesterday, the bloop, straight in. And see, I took my trusty, and I ripped the skin off and dug down inside. A little too graphic there for you, George.
Right?
George.
Did you make a sandwich out of it?
No,
I would have made a sandwich out of it.
I put it in your ear instead while you were sleeping. I dropped it in your ear.
Yeah, always recycle, guys. Always recycle.
Recycle. I was just trying to turn you into a mutant. I figured you'd be part me and you'd always have a little me with you no matter what.
Be like toxic crusaders.
No, it'd just be something in your eardrums. You would never be able to get me out of your ears. Besides me haunting you. I'm looking forward to hitting the bricks. Literally. I'm going to be haunting you. I'm going to be like, too much information,
I'm gonna
man.
have to purge and delete my corn collection.
I already know the type you have. Done got over it. I already know everything that you don't think I know, but I do. I'm just coming back. If you don't come back, if you wait weeks to come in and come back to, and you better like throw one hell of a basic party. I'm sure somebody will show up. At least show up for the
hentai,
donuts.
tentacles and all. Damn it! Oh, damn it!
Yeah. No, colloidal silver. Yeah. Oh man, like the tofu buildings in China. Yeah. No, and the problem is right now with it this open and exposed, I can't put anything on it. Now it's just open
Really? Not even
muscle
that?
and flat. No, I can't put nothing. All they'll do if I go to the hospital is watch to see if I get infected. That's all they're going to do if I go into the emergency room. People are like, oh, there she is making excuses. No, I know. I know for a fact. The reason it collapsed was not the bite was the initiator. It is not the cause of it. No wound collapses like that. That is not infection and then it got ate out. That was me last week. But that's not what happened here. It's just there is no circulation. So it's absolutely just shit right now. No oxygen, no circulation. You can't pour anything into it. You can't put anything into it because it'll affect how it is breathing and closing. But if I don't restore any oxygen, it's not going to help. All I can do is keep it from getting infected. I have to keep it covered. And matter of fact, I have bottles of saline. We have a bunch of little ones on its way. This is saline in here. I poked holes in the top and I just kind of spray it. If it stays too moist, it'll get an infection and sepsis. There's a real bad balance right now. And I left it open to the air quite a bit, but I can't even do that because now it's totally, yeah. So anyways, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you. JW says he had sent the money through Gcash. I appreciate it. We have other things, but guys, what'll help the most is watching the content. Please reach out to the senator. I mean, it is currently my only hope. I'm ready to go to heaven because I know I'm getting my angel wings. You know, without a doubt, I'll be like, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. And I'll be like, I'm out. I'm not going to stick around for the U.S. government shit going down. I ain't sticking around for this next pandemic that's about ready to hit you. Y'all was worried about that hantavirus shit. It looks like you guys are going to end up with Ebola. I'm not waiting around for that shit. I'm doing me right now. So I'm ready to go. Either the senator is in or is he out? This is his opportunity. True story. That'd be his loss to miss out on this pudgy wudgy American expat that's looking for help.
Hmm.
This is like George, the last guy with hardly anything, got over 1,000,000 views. What will 1,000,000 views bring him? Enough to pay for the surgery. He can either help with the promissory by signing. He doesn't have to sign his name away. He can just say, let him make payments. We can afford a few hundred a month. Not a problem. We're not trying to get out on the bill. But if I don't get in soon, I'm going to die. I'm going to end up losing my leg. I mean, now I have to make that decision. Like, well, go before you lose your leg like that other guy. No, I can't. I can't. If I don't fix the issues, then I might as well wait to die. And now more than ever, I cried to Cody this morning on the phone, and he tried to call, and I had to tell him. I said, "Don't you think?" He told me, "Was you get on that plane?" I said, "I can't get on the plane. Don't you think losing my leg at this size that I want to walk around like the biggest Captain Hook in the world? No. Where and how am I going to get around the Philippines with no leg? I can't. No oxygen. They're going to, I mean, even my face screams my organs are shutting down. I'm in pain just sitting up. I've been up for a couple hours now. It hurts. My leg is burning and killing me. There's no way to make this trip. Of course I would. And you think I would go in front of the senator and be embarrassed like that and ask as an American that I need? No. This is just ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
And then we would scam for $5,000. Give me a fucking break. We could have come up with something better, but this is really hard, and our people have done so much. The people that know us. I mean, so boom, you got me. I ate too many fucking snacks, and you sucked too much dick and fucking drank too much alcohol and banged loose pussy that's got disease. You guys did all kinds of shit. I've been trying to be a better person, and it's not going to stop it. Age is age. Hearts still go out. And I wouldn't ask if I didn't think, because if it was up to me, I would just lay down and die. That's exactly what I've told you. But I'm worried about you because you just lost family members. And what are you going to do here on your own? What about the kids? You know, it's just where it is. And if the trolls want to use this, they're going to use it anyways. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid of any of this. I'm worried now about everybody, just like the animals. We had to recently rehome a bunch of them, at least half of them, and it's very hard that I had to do this, but it's just where it is. It's just all of this has been hard, guys. And so the people that love us, know us, they know our good, our bad, our drama, who we talk about, they know where we're serious. We've never done anybody harm. We've done more help. That's all I've tried to do. But I'm just worried about you and the kids and everybody that's behind. I'm ready to go. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm ready. I just. I'm just tired of going through this pain. It's really rough. That's the problem. That is my problem. Just like I really didn't want open heart surgery, and that's a possibility what I have to have, but I will if that's what it takes. But they'll start with the stents because I can't get home until I do that. I can fly home and we'll be separated probably for years based on having that, but we have to start somewhere. So, but anyways, sorry guys. Thank you guys. Yeah, just contact the senator. So it's, maybe I don't deserve this. Maybe, I brought myself here, which who knew that I couldn't get back on a plane, but it doesn't mean that somebody doesn't get another chance. And again, if it's my time, it's my time. Either it's going to happen or not, guys. So, all right, guys, we're going to.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate you.
Yeah, sorry, guys. It's been very emotional. When I seen that hole, I said, that's it. I will probably die from sepsis. It will eventually get into my.
Don't say that.
Sorry, George. Would you rather me just drop like literally a ton of bricks in the kitchen? I don't know which is going to be worse right now.
Well, sepsis is a long, arduous death.
Well, my leg has been suffering for weeks in pain. I just haven't told you. I knew this was coming. So and not necessarily, I could just die. It doesn't have to take weeks for this all to happen. Some sort of infection, bad circulation, and gangrene will probably set in before sepsis. So either way, it's not pretty, and I'm not trying to be super dramatic. It is the truth. A lot of people, oh, look at her being dramatic, crying, or fake tears. Oh, fuck that shit. Good for you. So, anyways, all right, guys.
All right, guys.